Good morning. Oh, well, it's morning for us anyway. Welcome to the Inforunners. I'm Execute, Algared, and we're joined by a very noisy... Algared, that's you, actually. Your mic's setting off constantly, mate.
Is it?
Yeah,
Good.
that's right, just so you know. Algared's a little bit under the weather, though, too.
Yeah, you might hear it in my voice. I'm trying to do it. I'm doing a very poor impersonation of old man voice in the void.
What about yourself, John? How are you?
I'm very well. Been playing Diablo Immortal.
Oh, okay.
Beta test today.
Okay, and how are you finding it?
Not too bad. I've just been trying a couple of different characters, that's all, just to see what it was going to be like. Don't seem too bad.
Okay. I'm getting a bit of noise from you too, John, just so you're aware. Your mic is activating a few times, just so people don't get annoyed, that's all. Hey, we've got Canine Music. Woot, woot, woot. How you doing? What were you going to say, John?
I'm just rolling a cigarette. That was the noise you might have heard.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just tried to cut down noise as much as possible because people don't want to hear that stuff, so it's all good.
Hey, Geek. Lovely to have you join us today.
Yeah.
I've got to say, with our background, that Drake have really gone away from their normal lines because they've got the cutest shipping game anymore. So if anyone wants to know if there's any proof that Drake have stolen this from Grey Cat or anyone else, that's the proof. It's the cutest shipping game. It doesn't fit the Drake aesthetic. They've stolen the plans. Simple.
I actually went through this in a couple of videos. I think it does suit the Drake aesthetic because once you look at the Vulture, the Vulture's a complete left turn compared to some of the normal Drake stuff, and I think this falls in the same lane as the Vulture is in. The industrial Drake is very different. So yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I could actually see that because the cab to me resembles when you mention the Vulture, it does resemble to me that Vulture's cab. So I can see it, but hey,
if you actually go inside the Vulture, which was at the Fleet Week, it's got no garbage bag liner walls or anything like that. It's all metal, so it's completely different from the aesthetics that we've seen before, and so there's a huge change to what we're used to. So yeah. What about you, John? How did you? What was that noise?
I'll be back in a minute. I've just got to take a phone call, mate.
Okay, go for it. Old people. Anyway.
It'll be you one of these days, Execute.
Yeah, it will be. I'm getting there, man. This game's taking that long, man. I'm gonna be...
That's right. I was a young man when the game started.
I'm pretty sure. I remember talking to Piggles, and Piggles actually backed the game when he was 11, and he's now 20. So that kind of really puts things into perspective. So yeah, literally from kid to man. So that's kind of crazy. So yeah, but today we're going to be also doing the draws for the Mule, the Legionnaire, and the Scorpius. So we're going to give those out across the stream today. Me and Algared do also have a couple of caveats. One is we're going to be holding on to them for a little bit, maybe just this weekend, so we can do a review of the Mule and of the Scorpius. So we're going to use those for the buyer's guides and include some footage of them and stuff like that. So we're going to hold on to them for just a little bit, only a couple of days. And then, what was the other thing we had to... Oh, yeah, we are going to change the Scorpius one, which was the top voted comment. There was a lot of botting. There were people that were creating accounts and botters and stuff like that. So we're going to just change that to be like the other ones and make it a random comment. All right? And that way, it's just a random comment across the board. Yeah, anything you want to add to that, Algared?
Oh, not really. Lovely to see people popping in a chat. I can see some of our regulars.
Yeah, definitely.
Shadow Girl and Geek and Stephen Van Beek.
Yeah,
but,
we'll have to forgive you today, Algared, because you definitely do not sound like your regular self. This is the Darth Vader of Algared. Darth Algared. Definitely got the deep throat going, you know.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Linda Lovelace?
Was that who was on the phone?
John.
Is that who was on the phone, John?
No, that was my lady Diane, as you very well know.
Oh, yeah, she's a very nice lady. Give us your thoughts, John, please, because you're a bit of an industrial guy. How did you get a chance to go to the expo and check out the Vulture? Just while we're talking
Yes,
about
I did.
How did you find it?
I think it looks wonderful. You know, it just everything's there just for the one person.
Yeah, and my thoughts was it's slightly larger than the Prospector. Yeah, would agree with that? It seems a bit bigger to me. Mainly the arms.
It's wider.
Oh, wider, right? But do you?
Yes.
The arms makes it like longer. Yeah, it's kind of similar, but it's also got that cargo bay. There's no cargo bay in the Prospector, so
I don't think it's any longer, is it?
I would argue it is just visually, but I bet you someone will let you know in chat, John. So can someone drop me
I'm sure they will.
The measurements of the Prospector length and the Vulture length? And I would argue just based on visuals alone, and I think Algared would agree with me that the Vulture is bigger. But you've also got that cargo bay. There's no cargo bay in the Prospector, so that's got to add some length to it, you know. So yeah, I'd be really curious if it's not. Yeah, someone called you Darth Forehead.
No respect. No respect.
It's so good. All right, so we're obviously going to watch ISC. We did want to be here last week, but Algared had pretty much completely lost his voice, and I was pretty knackered from Invictus, so that's why we skipped that one, if you're curious to why.
As you can probably tell, I'm only just starting to get my voice back.
Yeah, so he hasn't even been at work teaching, so to speak. So, yeah, he only went back one day, you said earlier?
Yeah, I was there yesterday. So
yeah.
And Fridays I don't work. So, as the old characters in the Warner Brothers cartoons would say, I was sick.
Yeah, and in the 4 years I've known you, I think this is only the first or second time I've ever seen you sick. So it's a bit of a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it was just the stress loads of the work we're trying to get done and everything else.
Oh yes, you were correct then. Just for a change.
All right, I think we'll kick it off. And we'll go and watch Invictus. Not Invictus. God damn it. I've got that mindset on at the moment. We'll go watch ISC, and so we'll kick it off over to the browser, and we'll go full screen. I've got to change this thing over for. Wait. Hey! I never told you to play. I've got to change this over so Algared can hear. Just bear with me. I've just also realized I haven't started the bot, so I'm going to do that first. Hold on.
Yeah, activate the bots.
So we can take your guys' questions, because I'm terrible. That's me organized as usual, boys and girls. All right, that's ready. Stream questions / start the bot.
We're just so professional.
Oh, man, we had almost 2 weeks off. I forgot what to do. That's the problem. All right, here we go. All right, tell me if you can't. You should be able to hear it too, John, hopefully, if you're just watching my screen.
I'm watching your stream as well, mate.
The upcoming 3.17.2 patch looks to bring with it a variety of new gameplay opportunities, bug fixes, and quality of life improvements. And one of the ways it aims to do that is to include...
Did you say you got no sound?
Yep.
I
know, frustrating and annoying.
No, I'm trying to... All right, let me know now.
Evolutions of mission systems you may already be familiar with. On this week's show, we're looking at 2 important expansions, beginning with the addition of delivery missions specific to those unafraid of breaking the law.
Currently in Star Citizen, we have our delivery missions that everyone knows. They're only for legal, law-abiding citizens. We have no missions for someone who's on the wrong side of the law, someone who lives out of grim hacks. And in 3.17.2, we will rectify that by adding our illegal delivery missions.
You almost wonder why these didn't come sooner, because they're really just box deliveries, but the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's taken, what's that, 2 years? It's a bit...
Well, given that some of those box deliveries was, hey, someone has been killed, we need you to get rid of his body.
That's true.
That was illegal. That was a legal delivery.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm boggled.
Yeah.
The illegal delivery missions in 3.17.2 are going to function somewhat similarly to the legal ones, but they get run through a different organization. You will be running them through Redwind. You will have to build up your reputations with them. They will test your trust. They will see that you're reliable by doing fairly legal things at the beginning, and eventually they will give you one of these missions where you have to do something a bit dodgy. And based on how you do that thing, they will either open this career path for you or not. There will be some risks involved. You will have to visit some really
Sorry, I didn't have the cameras turned on. I had it set up for all those videos I did during Invictus, and I forgot I had to turn back on. Apologies.
Nefarious locations, some drug labs, some stashes where generally they're not populated by your lawful citizens, so you might encounter some people doing similar missions that are not very favorable.
Do you know what that means, Algared? That actually means now that you can do the kind of the inverse of piracy, so you can do kind of like the mercenary stuff. It's almost the start of bounty hunting.
You hunt down the poor pirate delivery person. A small fry. Because isn't that what always happens?
Doing them, you might bump into them, you might have to end up in a fight, or maybe you join up on other adventures.
As if.
The other more fixed risk factor is the chance of getting interdicted a lot more. So you will have to make sure when you get interdicted, you pretty much have to run for it. If they find the drugs on you or whatever illegal things you're moving, that will end up in you going to prison or in a fight or having to run for your life. And obviously with the additional risk, there will come additional rewards that the legal side of the career delivery missions will not give you.
It's a bigger
Looking
payout
ahead,
rates? You reckon? It'll just be bigger payout rates, you reckon?
Well, bigger payouts, I imagine there's also the opportunity to loot people you kill.
No, that's true.
So
more death, basically, is what you're saying. Yeah.
More threat.
We're also looking to add different sizes of parcels to delivers, including small handheld items that the player can stash in their inventory and all kind of other items that whatever you can think of. This is open-ended. We'll find cool things to add in there, different objects, different type of penalties if you get caught with them. We'll make it fun. Obviously, this is not the end of delivery missions. We'll keep exploring.
Sorry, say again, bro.
My question is, why not have those types of small handheld deliveries in legal missions?
Yeah.
I don't always get a big parcel in mail. I get little envelopes and little parcels, so...
No, maybe they're trying to do something different and they start here and it'll flow back to the good ones.
Yep.
We'll see.
Exploring and finding new things to add. We'll be making stuff interesting for everyone who is in this line of work in the universe. Whether they are on the legal or illegal side of things, we'll find something cool for them to move from point A to point B.
These new missions from Redwind are only the first in a new initiative to add more gameplay opportunities to those who want to play outside of Proper Society's rules and look to make their debut in the upcoming Alpha 3.17.2. But up next, here's a phrase you may not have heard around here in some time. Service beacons. Specifically, combat assist service beacons. They've been due an upgrade for some time, and they're about to get their next one. Let's find out more.
With the current state of the combat service beacons, we like that it's content for players to go out and shoot a ship gun at something. Like, it's combat, and that's fun and engaging and interesting. We like the concept, but not its current execution.
Service beacons are ways that players and NPCs can request assistance from the player or create missions for the players.
We don't like that there's not a whole lot of variety in them. You generally are fighting kind of the same ships.
I'd say one of the biggest problems is that there's no frame of reference to the player in terms of like what they're getting themselves into before they go. So the only indicator that the player has as to how difficult or challenging the mission's going to be is what the mission's paying. So the more that it pays, the more difficult the mission will be. And if as a new player you don't know that or know that scale, you don't have any concept of what you're getting yourself into.
What we are going to be doing is basically making it so that there are now 10 levels of difficulty for these combat service assist beacons. And when you go to accept them in your contract broker, you will be able to actually see that you are accepting anywhere from 1 to 10, depending on your reputation with the organization running these service assist beacons. In this particular case, difficulty 1 might be something as easy as go save this little relatively undamaged ship from an Aurora or something. pretty easy, pretty starter, something that you should be able to handle. As you do more of them and rank up, you will unlock higher and rarer variants, up to difficulty 10, which should be something on the lines of like, oh, there is a relatively damaged ship being attacked by either a small group or an Idris or something quite threatening. And that mission should basically mean that when you are...
Sounds like it's an extension of the actual Idris, you know, the oh, what the hell is that?
The 890 jump or the capture the Idris.
Yeah, the Matrox missions. What are they called? The family, and you go through. Yeah, it just sounds like an extended version of that.
Accepting it, you immediately say to your friends, everybody hop in, we're going to go and handle this together. That to us is kind of the key goal, is that those upper difficulties start getting people doing these together as a group and making the game feel more multiplayer, even in these simpler, smaller missions.
Oof.
We're pretty excited for this update. It has been a long time coming. We're hoping that it will make this this piece of content considerably more engaging, something that players can have a bit more fun with and will want to engage with more. And it has served us quite ably as a method for ramping up a new designer so that we can start producing more and more content for you in the future. We are currently aiming for a release with 3.17.2.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that there will be more non-combat opportunities for aspiring criminals when illegal delivery missions come online. That the combat assist service beacons are getting a multi-stage glow-up that'll make it easier for players to prepare for what's ahead. And that you can call the 8th the 7th, but we all really know what's up. I guess technically we learned that last week. Now, don't forget that First Contact Day and International Bar Citizen Weekend are both upon us. Check out the RSI website for details. And then after that, it's Alien Week. Yeah, we're in the can't stop, won't stop corridor now. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Here are a few more shots of the currently under construction 7th floor of the Manchester Goods Yard building, future home of CIG UK. And we'll see you all here next week from the 8th, which is actually the 9th stories up. Don't cut me off.
I just realised I've got Alien Week to look forward to. Not.
You're still here. Go.
Okay. It's like they've locked him in the building and won't let him out. Right. I've got to go back to the normal one. Hang on. 2 seconds. I'm lost. There we go. All right. I think we'll do the meal first, Algared.
Yeah. I like that idea. Start small, go big.
All right. So let's chuck this in here. The only thing we have to check is the person is a subscriber because there's no options here to check.
That's another reason we'll keep them for a couple of days.
Yeah. Just to make sure there's no
hanky panky.
Oh, I gotta put in a captcha. Are you serious? Okay. We've got 167 unique comments, and I'm gonna click start. All right. I need to then go. I gotta take this person's name. Won't let me copy it for some reason. Okay. Don't know why, but it won't. So I'm now going into to see if this person's a subscriber.
What is the animal?
There's not an option to search subscribers. Are you serious? Wow.
It may take us a bit longer than we thought to search for.
This sucks.
As you can see, YouTube loves to make life easy. Not.
How is there not a search option? That is crazy. Well, this makes this the most interesting, boring content I think I've ever done.
Character Expedition has red windshield and white skin.
All right, I think I'm just gonna write this guy's name down, and but I'm not gonna announce it because I'm not sure. and it's a fairly new account. It looks like it could be a bot, so I need to check this stuff up. So apologies, guys. But yeah, if it's someone I recognize, then I'll tell you. But yeah, so that's the mule done, and I might have to do that one again. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. All right.
If a mule is has to be redone again, we'll just do it and let you know who the actual.
Yeah, I don't want to announce anyone and then they all get their hopes up and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's really weird. There's no way to actually check to see if they're a subscriber or whatever. That's really. Oh, I actually know who that is. You know the person that joined on the Patreon? It's that person on the Patreon that you linked to me this morning.
It's Ominous, not on Crominous, is it?
Oh, Ominous. Yeah, I think it's the same guy. Yeah, we'll see.
If that was Micro... Micronus.
He's got two names, if you know what he
so
is.
It could be him.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was. It'd be quite cute. But, you know.
Cool. All right. But yeah, he's got a different name under there, so we'll have to wait and see and double check it isn't a bot or a duplicate. Sorry about that, but that's just the nature of these competitions. People and these comment pickers don't let you limit it to subscribers either. But I'm pretty sure he's subscribed, but we're going to have to just go through and do it manually because there's no way to search on the channel database. It literally shows 10 subscribers, and you can imagine with 12,000 subscribers, that's going to take us a little while to go through. Anyway. So we'll leave that for now. Do we want to get in game with John? Or do you want to talk is there anything you want to talk about from Invictus, John, before we jump in game and we'll do some mining?
Well, actually, no, I quite enjoyed it, even though it was a little bit iffy at times with the amount of people on the servers.
Oh, it's definitely, the quality of servers has definitely gone up. With the event ending, like I just noticed how much better it was. Like literally the day after Invictus ended, it just went way up.
Explodo Game says check their profile, not yours, to see if they are a sub.
Okay, let me have a look. Profile not hidden. What does he say? He says if their profile is not set to hidden, you can see if he is subbed or not. Yeah, but I can't search for his name in the list of all the subscribers. There's no way to do that. So
what's that out to the side of the lifetime? No, below the X.
Can you see my screen? Oh, you can see my screen. They can't see my screen, but yeah. But like, there's no search option here, John. You can see, like, there's no way to search. So I can't just go through and look for the guy's name, which is
that'd be a stream on its own.
Yeah. You can, yeah.
Boris, the animal. Maybe it's one word, Boris. Oh, come on. Get it right.
All right, John and Algared, I'm going to get in game. If you guys want to come join me, you may. Of course, my cat's here to annoy me. Hey, what's up? She's radioactive at the moment. If I touch her, she makes, like, everyone in the house is affected by her. So she's really sad because nobody wants to pat her. Who are they doing? I think everyone hates you. It's not, it's just that you're itchy. Yeah. Tell your story walking. Go, I don't care. Go. I'm not ready, because otherwise you end up doing this the whole day, like, the most incredibly itchy eyes. So yeah. All right, let's look at it.
It's allergy. Sorry, it's allergy season over there, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's winter here, obviously, John. So yeah. All right, let's have a quick look at the question here. We've got a question by Raz Zoltan. I'm here to give away ships and answer questions, but I'm all out of ships. That's like the bubblegum thing. All right. WD Wenzel question. Given schedule, I will have to be playing solo often. I'm wondering how one might move a fleet into Pyro solo or something like a Liberator acquired. So basically, from what we've been told, there will be AI services that will be able to move your ships for you. That's the current information.
Probably initially it'll be
Well,
one at a time.
AI ship, yeah, one at a time.
One at a time, suicide, respawn back,
Yeah.
take the next one in night.
See what happens.
Get a friend to take you back. Yeah, use a liberator, use a friend or whatever. So yeah.
Alrighty. Where am I in game?
Question.
I'm at Lawville, where I went the other day, John, when we were playing. Where are you, Algared, in game?
I'm not in game at the moment.
No, but where are you in game?
I think I'm at Lawville.
Alright, cool. I'll wait for you then.
So every starboard, is it?
Yeah, I think that's where I am. I'll have to go down and get Algared, but that's fine. I'll go get him real quick. Oh, he logs on. So what I got here is... Nope. Apparently it's at Horizon. That's weird. I parked it here when I left.
Vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility.
Okay. What?
Your vehicle has
It won't let me claim it. Is anyone else seeing this? Am I... Okay.
Welcome.
Because it's the same location.
No, no, but I'm not at Horizon. It says it's stored at Horizon, it's a heavy fighter, and I click claim. Oh, now it's letting me file a claim.
Your insurance claim has
And that
been
worked,
sent.
okay. So I gotta wait 3 minutes and then I can pay 5,000. Okay, cool. We'll do that then. Are you in game yet, John?
I am. I'm on your server.
Cool. Algared, how you doing?
I'm still loading, because
Alright.
you know what it's like.
Yep,
While I'm going through the horrible process of loading, because you know that's what it's like. John Priest. Strange, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's like there's a John in the chat with us and he's just too lazy to ask the
no.
question. He should have done... Hey, John, can you read that question? Hey, John, can you read that question for me? Yeah.
I'm sorry I can't see it. It's gone past, mate.
It says, John Priest, question, can you disable those beacons?
I think this is a question for John.
Yeah, John, that's a question for you. Go for it. That's...
I don't know. This is why I would like somebody with more knowledge than me to answer that question, Algared.
Well, I assume if you set the beacon, you'd be able to disable it. But the only way I can think of is some kind of hack. But man, that'd be down the line, man. That wouldn't be now.
Yeah, that'll be a one day. One day you may be able to do that, but not today. Is not the day. Then we got Eon Links has a question. They said, what would be the possibility of a surprise new ship? Maybe even a straight to flyable for the Alien Week. Any guesses on what it would be?
Well, me, Astropub and Space Tomato talked about this on his podcast last week. But long story short, generally when they sell ships, and Algared will probably agree with me on this, they generally have a small one, a medium one, and a large one at 3 different price points. So roughly like $100, $200, and $300. Now we got the Mule, and we got, I was about to stick my finger up then. Then we got the Mule and we got the Legionnaire. So we got like a sub $50 and $100 one. I would be expecting a fairly large alien ship to be coming. And when I say large, I'd say, you know, obviously over $100 is what I'm talking about there. What about you, Algared? What do you think about that?
What was the price of a Raylan? The Raylan was about $230, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, so I could see something Raylan size up.
Yep.
I kind of disagree with what you guys have said. You know, that's the standard pattern they've done. Does it mean they're going to follow it? Nope.
No, yeah, that's the only thing consistent about CIG is their inconsistency.
You know, but we look for the patterns. We think there's a pattern there. They often go small, medium, large in their ships. You know, and they do tend to stick to that. But the pricing of those small, medium, large ships might not be quite what you're expecting. Like, I was surprised. I'll be honest. I was surprised and shocked by the price of the Little Mule. It was a gorgeous little ship, but you know, is it worth the same price as a quad bike?
It's kind of crazy to think, well, you know what, 2.5 mules is 1 Legionnaire. Like, and it just, the math just doesn't add up. Vehicles have just got this weird tax on them that just kills them for me. And considering when the cargo factory comes in what, 6 months' time, it'll be available in game for free. So what's your take on that, John? I think that's what you told me when we were talking the other day, didn't you? You said you'd just buy it in game for free.
Yes, mate. Most ships now I will be buying in game. I don't think I'll be spending any more money.
Let's I'm going to the wrong thing. Just want to check.
Like
I think.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I did buy a couple, but part of the purpose is, you know, looking at giveaways later down the track, prizes for Crux Cup and things like that. But and part of it, the OCD type tendency I have. But I really do think that Mule is an absolute essential ship for everyone when Cargo Factory comes out.
Yeah, so that was the other thing that Cyrus pointed out on Drake Day that was really interesting is can that thing stack a box on top of another box? Because it doesn't look like it can. Not in its current state anyway. So if it actually isn't a forklift and it's just a cargo transporter, then the reason they sold that first is when the forklift turns up, you're going to want the forklift, not that. So,
well, they did describe it as a forklift.
Yeah, so I don't know. I hope it can. I hope it can.
I really hope the forklift does go up and you can stack. Because that would make it perfect for... That'd kind of answer that question I often have, is how do you unload the conning? Well, it's fully loaded because you lower it down and the top of the cargo is still in the ship, or still being hit by the ship. Yep.
So, Algared, I'm going to come down and pick you up because I want to swap some guns over as well. So, once you get in game, I'll just meet you at the ASOP terminal.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So, one other little sneaky surprise that I'll show you when we get to the Scorpius. Man, it's going to take a while to get there. That's why it took so long to get here. You want to say?
And so go on.
No. Go ahead. I've got 600
I was just going to do the next question.
Yeah, go for it.
But
I will. Wait. No, hold that thought, because I am here.
Okay.
Sorry. I apologize for that, man.
Okay.
So what we're also going to do, you may notice, is this has actually got the concierge skin on it. So we're actually, whoever wins the Scorpius will be getting the concierge skin as well. I picked that up with cash, or brought it back with my buyback. So you'll be actually able to, once we get in,
pretend that you're concierge, even if you're not.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm going to be honest, I think it's the nicest? I don't know how to put that.
It is a very nice looking ship.
This is not the best view to see this skin in, obviously. And I've accidentally gone onto my other screen. There we go. Yep, whoops. So yeah, but it's got an orange scorpion on it. Something a bit different. I have a better look when we get down. Yeah. And as you guys know, we don't usually do giveaways, but this is kind of a test for us. But yeah, something different. Yeah. So there, I don't know. What do you guys reckon in chat of the scorpion skin, or the concierge skin, whatever they call it? So yeah.
Most are seeming to indicate that it's a really cool skin and really cool ship and really sweet.
So it's kind of black and silver underneath. If I can, hang on, let's do the inverse.
Shadow Girl broke into a YouTube song. Desire. Desire. Yeah, I do them bad injustice.
Yep. Me and John are just sitting here shaking our heads, aren't we, John? So we said nothing.
Yeah.
I love that skin on that ship. That's why I expect to win it.
Well,
I'm exercising a veto there. Execute.
Okay. I'm executing a counter veto. No, I don't care. If he wins it, he wins it. He's got to be in the running, man. He's got to be in the running.
Did you leave a comment?
Yeah. Did you leave a comment, John?
While the competition was on.
Where?
On the video.
Too late.
No, too late. No. On the RSI day, if you leave a comment and you subscribed, that's all you have to do.
I'm not at Lawville Execute. I'm at Orison for some reason.
I don't think I'll be winning the Scorpius then.
All right, I'm going to land here real quick. Algared, you just do your best to get across to RKL1 because that's where John and all his stuff will be.
All right.
Yep. And we'll do some mining when we get down there. Thought we could do some combat with this, and I do want to look at the mule, but the mule's really easy to claim and takes like 6 seconds.
You've got the Scorpius there, don't you?
Yes.
And I'll take a Hurricane, because one of the things people did ask us
that's a good
last
idea.
time
Yeah, that is a good idea.
is what's the size comparison of those two ships side by side. So if I bring the Hurricane, we can do that. And another thing people did want us to do was do the size comparison of the Constellation and the MSR.
Right. Okay. Well, we can do that.
So they'd be
I'm actually in the Andromeda at the moment.
Alright, we'll bring an MSR over Algared because the Hurricane will be quicker to respawn, and I can respawn one too. Oh shit.
Roger that.
That was too fast. This thing does not stop as well as the Hurricane.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
No, it definitely doesn't.
It does when it hits the ground.
Yeah, everything stops suddenly when it hits the ground. So going back to the questions while I'm making my way across. Shem Pastor had asked in chat what's the difference between the Carrack and the Carrack Expedition. Basically, it was the white skin and the red glass, and
yep.
I think the Expedition also got the C8X, which also had the red glass. But that was about it. There was no real...
And the Ursa Rover.
Yep. There were no real differences. There were no weapon upgrades. It was just... I did answer that in the chat earlier, and he said, "Oh, thanks," but you know, it's worth putting it on the voice anyway.
It's all good. Yep.
Toda Kenny has a question. He says, "Do you think we might see another Kruger ship this year?" I would love to see another Kruger ship.
Yeah, Algared does talk about
another snub fighter.
You do talk about that quite frequently. Man, I agree. It would be cool to see some more of the manufacturers filled out.
So do I think we'll get it? I have no idea, but I'd love to see it.
Having flown both, I still kind of prefer the Hurricane. Mainly because, like, if I've had my wings shot off, I lose the guns completely. And just because of that, you don't tend to get your wings shot off in the Hurricane because they're on the turret and they're on the nose. So it's a lot harder to have them blown off completely lost. Like the other day, I accidentally clipped into the side of a station when I was with Piggles, and I lost 2 wings, and then I had to go rebuy the guns. So I wasn't very happy about that.
Yeah. So if there was a new ship from a manufacturer like Kruger, what manufacturer would you like to see?
Sorry.
If it was, you know, like, we're not getting a Kruger ship.
Sorry, what you just asked is, you said a new ship by Kruger, which manufacturer would I expect it to be from? Yeah, I'd expect it to be from Kruger.
No, that's not what I asked.
That's what it sounded like.
He wasn't listening, Al. You know what he's like.
So, here we go. You're ganging up on me already.
Why we may not get a ship? Right, the question was, you know, do you think we'll get a ship from Kruger? What manufacturer would you like to see? One of those, you know, those small manufacturers we don't see many ships from. What other manufacturer would you like to see a ship from?
I still, like, in my head at the moment, I've had a lot of stuff coming just for Alien Week, so I've been thinking about all the different alien manufacturers. I think we're going to see a new manufacturer from Zion, you know, where we
did have a new manufacturer from them last year.
Yeah. But I was talking to Paul, like, they actually have a different manufacturer for a lot of different things. So, like, say they had a mining ship, there's actually a mining, I don't know the name of it, obviously, because I'm not up on the law. But, yeah, there's a different manufacturer for mining and stuff like that. So, yeah, interesting.
They certainly divide their culture and their worlds into the professions. But now that CIG have done that and got the Banu doing a similar thing, they're very similar in their breakdown of cultures. So, the Banu also have their Suloi focused on particular things, and you know, they have an org that just does military ships, and they have a Suloi that just does mercantile. So I could imagine it'd be even different Banu manufacturers for different types of ships. So
I'm gonna have to steal a gun here from somewhere. Have a look.
What about you, John?
I've not really got into the lore as such, to be honest with you. So I'm amazed at all the ships that turn up, to be honest with you.
What manufacturer would you like to see another ship from?
I don't know.
He's a bit of a Miss fanboy. You're into the industry, so you'd be looking at Misk, Argo, or Drake or something.
I do like Misk. I like Drake. I love the C2. Even a lot of people don't, because it's a great cargo ship. But I think the Caterpillar, when modules come in, will take a lot away from the C2 then.
Yep,
but
agreed.
How many manufacturers can we choose from?
Hang on, and the Liberator, John, that'll take away from it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can pick any manufacturer you want. It's just an open-end question. I think Algared asked.
Yep. Open-ended. I don't care. It was just, what would you like? What manufacturer, design, style do you
Honda.
like, and would you like to see another shipping?
I'd like to see Honda get into the game.
Honda.
Well, I like the Honda Civic, but they don't make ships at the moment.
I was thinking you wanted a Pee-wee 50 from Honda or something, one of those tiny little motorbikes.
I think what he really wants is, a Reliant Robin.
A plastic pig.
Yeah.
That's what we call them over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called plastic pigs. And there's nothing wrong with a plastic pig. They're great fun to drive about in.
If you say so, John. If you say so.
I'll just nod my head. I'll do what I do with my students sometimes. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm listening. Yes. I'm just, my eyes have glazed over now.
Yeah. All right. Next question, please, Algared.
The next question is from JD Winsel, and he says, I asked this before, but you turned on the bot.
Yeah, sorry.
How would you want, how would a solo player move a fleet into fire alone?
We did answer that one.
Stephen Van Beck has a question. He says, what's the air velocity if you have an unladen mule? Depends whether it's in gravity and falling or... I have no idea. Execute, do you know the velocity of an unladen mule?
I haven't tested it, man.
And is that an African mule?
He's basically asking if we dropped it from a plane, is essentially what he's asking. No,
I think he's doing Monty Python.
Oh, right.
Is that an unladen... Is that a African sparrow or a European sparrow? Yeah, don't know the answer to that question.
I'm not the biggest Monty Python person. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I've even sat down and watched the whole thing, to be honest with you. So that's probably heresy at this point, but yeah.
You are a heretic.
Alright, RKL1, here we come.
Okay, following on from the Monty Python question.
I just want to say, see the retro thrusters in the front there? I really, really like that. I was showing that to John yesterday. They're the retro thrusters right there in the front. Any ship I've ever seen where you can actually see thrusters. It's kind of cool. Anyway, sorry.
The Geek has a question. When do you think the Caterpillar will get dropped down side doors?
Yeah, I was actually... Who was I talking to? I think was it you, John? Or Piggles? Yeah, because when the cargo refactor comes in, I think it'll be very shortly after that. Here's a hoping. Kind of needs it now, doesn't it? Especially with the mule being a thing. You know, you're going to want to be able to load them on and off.
Do you reckon they'll have a drop-down part for the front hanger?
Yeah, it does. They're all dropped down. They're all dropped down, but they just never ever did it because it wasn't essential.
And it was also difficult because it was not only a door, but an elevator.
Yeah.
So it really screwed things up.
And the Caterpillar has been around for so long now that it just... Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do if we get a rework of the whole thing when it comes out, just because it needs it.
I don't think it needs it.
I think the design language will stay the same, but they'll it'll be a gold standard super
Yeah,
pass.
it'll get some little upgrades and stuff, but I don't think they're going to redo the whole thing. The thing I'm more excited for on the Caterpillar, and who was the person asked the question? Sorry,
This was the geek.
Yeah. How excited are you for the command module, Geek? Because that's what I'm really excited about.
Separatable command module.
That's almost like a freelancer on its own. You know, like it can hold 4 people, 4 beds, cooking, toilets, gun racks, all in a very small, compact ship. And if that thing can warp as well,
executes 100% correct. That command module is, in a sense, even though the actual main body can't move anywhere, when you look at that, you've effectively got a snub ship coming with a Caterpillar. Even though it's quite unique. It's the little brother of the Endeavour in a sense, in that same style, where the Endeavour's got its cab that pulls off stuff. And
if you look at all the other stuff the other daily drivers add, it's got everything. It's kind of like the Avengers to the starter ship. That's what the Caterpillar is to the daily drivers in my book. And everyone's daily driver is obviously different, but that they're those ships in the middle. Everything from a Cutlass up to a Caterpillar in those average daily drivers. So yeah, all right.
I'd put the Nomad as a daily driver.
I wouldn't. Because you'd move on to another cargo ship fairly quickly. It just doesn't have the load potential. The Raelian, the whole A even. Like there's so many ships that I can just put instantly above that.
But how many of those ships can carry a rock?
The Constellation, the Caterpillar, all of them. Hull A's the only one that can't.
Such a small footprint when you land, and if you go rock mining.
I guess we'll have to wait and see the perks of the Nomad. But to me, you're preaching to me and Algared, and me and Algared will just tell you it's shit. I guarantee you right now, Algared, what do you think of the Nomad?
Shit. The only good thing the Nomad had was the starter pack.
Yeah, that's it. It just wasn't like it had the best starter pack ever, and that tells you that there is something wrong with it. Straight off the bat, if they are fluffing it up, there's a reason.
They're fluffing it up with a skin, 20,000 starting UC, starting credits for game, and lifetime insurance. There's got to be something significantly wrong with it.
Yeah, it's definitely overpriced at the very least. What was it? $90 too. So for $10 more, you get a Cutlass. Or
it was 100. The package was 100.
There you go.
The ship's value was $80. So for $20 more, you change it to a Cutlass.
Yeah, you just pay $20 and upgrade the pack and get a Cutlass, which does everything it does, and it also carries 2 rocks, not 1, and it does 2 people. It's got I guess it. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the downside. I don't know. I just can't see it.
You mean a positive for keeping it?
Yeah, I just can't. Okay. John's talking about footprint, right? So technically he's kind of correct because the Cutlass becomes medium. So I can give him that.
But on every other point.
Yeah,
and on cargo's external as opposed to internal.
It's got a toilet.
Yeah.
Cutlass hasn't.
Yeah, but on a per dollar value, John.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in-game purchase here for a daily driver. I like my Nomad.
Okay, okay, I can give you that. All right, if you want to use the Nomad, John, you use the Nomad. But on a per dollar value, I can't give it to you.
Yeah,
I'd never recommend someone buy it. Put it this way.
Not for real money. No, neither would I. But in-game, I think it's excellent value.
Look, in-game, any ship's excellent value.
Yeah, because it's free. It just takes time. Yeah. Look, and that when me and Algared say stuff like what we say, we're always talking on a per dollar value.
Yeah.
we're not shitting on a ship because we think it's shit. We're thinking it, per dollar value it's shit. You know, we do have to stress that.
Yes.
So,
Because people do get upset with us because we say, you know,
there are people in chat with upset us right now. You know.
Ah, well, get over it. Build a bridge.
Yeah.
Have a cup of concrete. Up and up, princess.
Do you know someone told me to have a
I don't care.
spoonful of concrete the other day? I said that's not enough. But anyway.
Anyway, next question.
Yep.
Right, the next question was...
What the?
Vazaris Patons.
And I am now all the way back at Horizon.
Vazaris Patons.
You are joking.
Nope, I am not joking at all. That thing has a really weird acceleration on it.
Execute, fall down, go boom.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, where was he? Stephen Van Beek, I believe it was.
Wait.
Nope, that was the.
Grimhex?
Vazaris Patons had the question. He said, "Why do you?"
I got a crime stat for that. Are you serious?
You're a criminal.
This fucking game.
Vazaris Patons has a question. His question is, why do you think the Drake Mule functionality was not added to the Spartan? Speaking of cargo boxes specifically, as I understand, forklift is not the role of the Spartan. Well, forklift is not the role of the Spartan.
I think he's talking about the little boxes. You know, you can put like 6 little boxes. Why didn't they make it so you can put little boxes on the outside of the
Spartan?
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, because they didn't. Because they hadn't get around to it at the time. They didn't think of it at the time. Any of the above. But when you consider the Spartan can take that crate underneath it, have a crate in its forklift, and 8 little boxes on top, that's quite a lot of SCU for that little runner. So, yeah, I've got to say I do like the Drake, but is it a ship to buy with cash for any sane person? Absolutely not at all.
And that's why Algared brought 10 of them. No.
No, I've only bought 2 at the moment. But I would have bought a few more. But
2.
Bloody hell, it's
Yeah.
Why are you putting all that stuff on anyway?
Just for safety's sake.
What size crime stat you got?
I don't know. It won't tell me. I'm gonna go down. I'll just go down and have a look. Down here.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make one, am I?
No, Arkel one.
Arkel one, right.
Hopefully I can pay this fine. Otherwise, just want to rage quit. I hate the fines in this game. They're always for something so stupid. All right, problem solved. Yeah, man, just so stupid. Next question, Algared, please, sir. You there, mate? Algared?
Yeah, I'm just trying to do stuff because my ship is being wacko.
Oh, okay. All right. Who was the last question from? I'll do it.
It was Vazaris Patons.
So the next one, as well as I can read it, is from K9 Music, who says, "Have you seen the self-destruct damage of the mule yet? It's absolutely insane." No, but I'm now going to test that once. Now you've said that. We'll check that out. That sounds awesome. We might just subtly leave it next to Algared and see what happens.
Yeah, that'd be right.
Yeah. Just desserts, I believe they call that.
It's indestructible at the moment. Just
really?
Go back to the mule. Somebody dropped it on another ship. It blew the ship up. The mule carried on falling down to the planet, survived, and the guy in it just drove it away.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's better than Mr. Bean's car. Okay, so Shempasta's follow-on question from K9s was, do schools in Australia have summer vacation? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Which means we get Christmas, really long Christmas break.
Yeah. So it's kind of the opposite of what you guys in the northern hemisphere get.
I assume that question was for me.
Yeah. But we get all the barbecues and stuff, don't we, as well? Like,
Yeah.
and so when you guys are having like a winter Christmas, we're having a summer one. So we have lots of roasts. Lots of
Even though we
barbecues.
have, even though it's the middle of summer, we still have traditional Christmas dinners.
Yeah, big turkeys and well, not so much. We're not big on turkeys, really, are we? We're more like there's always a barbecue chicken at my place and a
We
roast
always have a
beef.
turkey and a pork.
Yeah,
We still have
pork.
the-
Yeah,
We
pork's
have
a
the
big
roast
one.
pork, the roast turkey, the ham. Yeah. And my brother-in-law's a chef, so. And my sister loves putting on the Christmas dinner, so the family gathers at their joint, and it is awesome.
I don't think I got enough fuel to get there.
Okay. L1. Useless pecker.
You right there, John? Drilling for oil?
Pardon?
You're typing like an old man.
I am an old man.
Okay.
Actually, no, that's having a mechanical keyboard. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, it's all good. Shempas's question is, yep, we were good on that. Robo Guy, what do you think is the best starter ship? Easily, Algared at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Avenger Titan.
Titan Aurora. Titan Avenger.
Titan Avenger.
At least
Titan Avenger.
Right.
You heard it here first. Titan Avenger. Avenger
Yeah.
Titan. Same thing, but yeah, Avenger Titan. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Avenger Titan by far, hands down, best starter ship to get.
Yeah.
It's probably the cheapest of those startup ships. It does more than the Mustang and the Aurora.
Mm.
It has a good loadout. It has internals. It has bathroom,
Has
toilet,
a bed.
kitchenette, bed.
Can fit a bike in the back.
It can fit a bike in the back.
It's got multiple variants, so you can kind of have bounty hunting. You can have cargo.
It's got good components, so you can or good attachments, so
And it
you
fights
can
well,
change
too.
Yeah, it flies well. It's got size 3 weapons, size 2s. It's got loads of missiles, so you can swap those out as well and change the racks of those. So it does give you a lot of versatility. The downside of it is the cargo capacity is fairly small.
Yeah.
But best starter ship by far. If you're going,
Ideal for delivery missions.
What the hell? I just realized I didn't have the cameras turned on again. I am terrible at this today. Sorry, everyone. Algared, you're on camera too, aren't you?
I am on camera too.
There you go. Oh, sorry about that, people. Man, I had everything changed for Invictus. I got to change it all back now. So yeah. Sorry about that.
And I think that if you look at if you're looking at wanting to spend about $100, $150, whatever the game package is for the Cutlass, that's the next best ship to get.
Do you know
So if you want the
So I just want to say real quick, during Invictus, you know, it actually worked out, I was doing it with a friend, and it worked out it was cheaper to actually get the Pisces pack and upgrade to the Avenger than it did to actually buy the Avenger package. It was really weird.
We saw that on the first day.
It was weird as hell. Sorry to interrupt you, mate.
Yeah, that what Execute just said then, the Pisces on the day one of the of Invictus was actually cheaper than the Titan. Even that's a good starter ship compared to if you're looking at the base end, like the $40, $50 ships and game packages. If you can get the C8 the C8X for that as a starter pack for around that price. That is the best starter pack. But normally,
so what you're saying is if you can get the Aurora instead of the Aurora or the Mustang, you can get the Pisces. Yes, that's what you're saying?
If you can get the Pisces around that $40 mark, or $50 mark, then that's the one to go for.
The thing you're losing though, and this is the thing, like when you look at all the starters, they all kind of gain, lose.
Yep.
So the only thing that Pisces doesn't really have is it doesn't have the bed. But what you get is you get as much cargo as the other cargo ones, but you also get an extra person. So you can have 3 people.
Internal cargo.
Yeah, and it's really difficult, and that's why when you get to the Avenger, it just has everything all the others does below. So it's like, take that, and then there's no negative to it.
So yeah, it's never just a straight up, oh, this ship by none. There's always a caveat. And then there's always and if you like the ship, don't give a damn what anyone else says. Just get it.
Wow, some of these questions, man. There's one coming up. I don't know how I'm going to answer. What do you think is the best starship? So next one is by the Horse Guy, who says, "What are your thoughts on buying Endeavour modules with cash? Do you think it is worth it, as the Endeavour will be quite a big ship and the modules will be very expensive in game?" We always say the same thing, don't we, Algared? We treat modules like we treat fighters. So they're an earning game. If you do the math on the master set module, it's just not worth it. You can actually get, how many was it, 3 Endeavours or 4 Endeavours? I'd have to do the math again.
3.5, I think.
Yeah, it was something like that, and it was just like, you're better off with the Endeavours, than the modules. And the modules are all like, what's the most expensive one? $200? So they're
the most expensive was about 100. I don't think there was any 200 ones. And if there were, that's just the one.
Yeah, and that's the one outlier, and maybe you can pick that up. But again, earn the other ones in game and use that to buy that one. Like even at $200, let's look at other fighters. There are fighters out there like the Ares that are $250, and that's an in-game for me. So there's always things that are changing what we recommend every single time. Like, look at the Legionnaire. That just popped in, and it's now the largest, smallest ship in the game. It's taken over from the Freelancer. If you read the Q&A yesterday, that we were suspecting it, but we couldn't confirm it, right? And then that Q&A utterly confirmed it. It is now the largest small ship in the game. And the Freelancer's been on that slot for how many years, Algared?
Well, it was one of the original 5.
Yeah, and it was do you remember the smallest ship that goes through a jump point thing?
Yeah.
It's now the Legionnaire. It's not the Freelancer.
Well, that used to be when you compared the Connie and the Freelancer. The Connie was the largest ship that could dogfight.
Yep.
The Freelancer was the smallest ship, was the largest ship that could go through small jump points, and they've both lost their.
Yep.
They've both lost that now. Their special thing has gone. So. So yeah.
What size is the Legionnaire compared to the Cutty Black?
The Cutty Black's a medium, mate.
Yep.
And I hit N twice like a fool.
Landing gear up.
Trying to do too many things at once. Actually, okay, Shadow Girl asks, I was in an org event, Mule Destruction Derby, and when one mule exploded, all of them shut down simultaneously. You're aware of this issue? I don't know, but that sounds funny as hell.
It sounds good.
like they've got a group emotional state. There's just like one, oh, he died, oh, I can't carry on.
They're lemmings.
Are you landing this time or blowing up?
I think I'm landing. I think.
He thinks he's landing. He hopes he's landing.
Oh man, that took way too long to get here.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant.
Alrighty then. Next question.
So...
This is the one I think I'm gonna. Oh no, it's not. The next one after this. So, Kishkin asks, do you have any thoughts on the pirate groups of Pyro claim their destroyed ships, or how Pyro will deal with ship claiming in general? Wouldn't it be just the same? Because you're at a pirate-based location, it'll be more forgiving. But like Grimhex. This is exactly the same as Grimhex, yeah?
Yeah,
I can't see any different to that.
I can't see any different from being Grimhex.
Yeah.
I could see the question really being, how are we going to do that? Because insurance, you know, so... And I imagine that, you know, the pirates have some form of... They've got book guys who dodge the books and make it so insurance companies look the other way. I don't know.
And what sort of time would it take?
Yeah, well, again, it's in a pirate system, so it may take longer for goods to get to there. So that could be a factor too, John. That's a really good point. I didn't even think of that until you said it. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
I think
now I've made a good point. I'm going to make a cup of tea. I'll be back in a minute.
Hang on, John. Before you go, do you have a mule all set up, ready to go?
No, I don't have a mule.
Oh, you are terrible. All right, I'm going to have to summon a mule then. All right, yeah, go get a cup of tea.
Thank you.
If he doesn't have his tea, he doesn't function. Gets grumpy. Turns into Execute. Well, anyway.
I think for Explodo's question, the answer is you'd rather fight a bear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would just... He didn't say if it's a real bear. He just said it's a grizzly bear. So what if it's just a statue? I just got to tackle the statue, right? So that's pretty easy. Just... And it says, with my hands, what if I just detach my hands? And slap him in range? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. So the question is, the Explodo Games asks, Execute, would you rather have an entire fleet CC'd to Origin ships permanently, or fight a grizzly bear with your hands? The other way I could get around it is buy a secondary account, have one ship, and it's turned into an Origin ship. That's the other way to do it. There you go. So you take your pick between those two, Explodo.
Well, I suppose the other thing is, you know, if the whole range of Origin ships was there and they could do simple things like everyone else can do.
Anything, yeah, that'd be great.
You know, if you could get them all for significantly cheaper than you paid cash for because of a wave over CCU'd and blah blah blah, then maybe. But generally,
oh shit! I just realized this isn't going to have any of the lasers or anything. Man, I really.
It's no good using a mole. It's not extracting yet.
Are you serious? So we're going to bring the prospector. And I've just realized the same problem. I think I'm going to get in my defender and head back to Lawville. I'm serious. Because all my shit is there. I did not prepare for this at all.
Basically, if you had to choose between Origins and the grizzly bear, you'd choose the grizzly bear. And if the bear had any sense, it'd run away in an Origin ship.
Well said.
I don't know, because Execute has threatened to blow up any Origin ships he sees, so...
Not really.
The pilot has a question for us. He says, how are you guys today? Do Aussies look forward to winter like Canadians look forward to summer?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Hear my voice. That tells you how I am today.
I'll take the cold any day of the week over the heat. Mainly because, and think about it rationally, you can put more clothes on to stop the cold, but you can't take your skin off to stop the heat. So...
yeah, there's so much you can... After a while, there's
cold's easy to fix. The you know, like I can turn my heater off and just put more clothes on if it's a problem. Like I'm not gonna die. But with the heat, if you don't have the air conditioning, you're kind of stuffed. And you can't just make ice, can you? You know, out of nothing.
No, and people frown at you if you sit there naked. You know, like.
That is an image I did not need. Thanks, Algared. Of your body. Right, okay.
I was thinking of your body and thinking exactly the same thing.
Where's
so
my eye?
Yeah,
just
burns, it burns.
Let me get this out of here. Yep.
Benjamin Hanna, to put things back onto a more even keel, says, hey guys, do you have any info on when Alien Week will be?
What was that saying? Yeah.
When is Alien Week?
Well, he literally said next week. That's what he said during IC this week, and it's always usually a week break. So when did Invictus officially end? It was it Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday our time. So that means it would probably start Tuesday. So next Monday for you Northern Hemispherians.
Yeah.
Thank you, and please visit again.
It generally helps if you set a course, doesn't it? Yeah. Man, this has been a real cluster. today. All right. Let's still get there quick.
Bill Carroll says, what makes a mule a must-have vehicle? Isn't it easier just to move cargo by hand, faster, more precise handling? No.
Not at the moment. Well, actually, sorry. At the moment, yes, because it's just going to mysteriously kind of disappear and reappear. But when it's very physicalized and you've actually got to move it, or NPCs have got to move it, you got to realize those little boxes that you pick up for those missions, they're a quarter SC. 1/8 of an SCU. Right, so an SCU, like you look what the mule carries, you can clearly see when you got that little cube, you can put in and go, oh, this is only 1/8 of the size of that SCU. So, you know, and again, like I can pick up a cup like this, but I can't pick up an entire bed or a TV. You know, I can't pick up that physically sized one SCU because it's too big.
And even our hand tractor beams can't pick up the box.
The bigger ones can though.
Yeah, the bigger ones can, but our hand tractor beams can't.
Yeah.
So,
but I'd imagine you'd see them doing. You know, you've also got to factor in distance as well. So when you're not at a port, like being able to drive to SCU quite a distance is going to be a thing. Where with a tractor beam, you're going to sit there and walk one SCU, you know, a couple of 100 meters. I don't think so. So yeah, everything seems to have its place to me anyway.
Yeah. No, I for me, it's a. The second I saw it, I said, "This is." You know, my thought was, "This is directly geared for the cargo factor."
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So you guys still at Arc 1?
Oh yeah, you head to Arc 1. I'm. You're gonna have to summon a prospector there too. So yeah, that's why I'm heading back to Lawville because I'm gonna fit out my prospector and then summon it to Arc 1 because all my stuff's at Lawville.
Yeah, I think that's where all my stuff is because that's my usual start point.
But don't put consumables on your prospector if you're going to claim it.
What does it do? Is that another bug at the moment?
Well, no. If you claim a ship, it only comes as standard except for the laser you change.
Man. All right. What's the next question? Man, we got a lot of questions this week. Like a lot of
Shadow
questions.
Girl. That's because we've been away for a week. They love us. Gee, we're so shucks about the guys. Shadow Girl has a question. She says, the Scorpius you're giving away, does it come with a concierge skin? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
The Tenu, it looks like a Frenchman. How do you think that it will, how long do you think it will take for there to be true exploration gameplay? Forever.
Well, I guess the start of it would be scanning.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think the start of it will probably come with the Terrapin. You know, and you can clearly see in this whole argument between the Odyssey and the Carrack, there are different types of exploration, and everyone's got this like the vision that people are sold on is the Carrack, but there is a lot of data-driven exploration, and there's going to be more what do you call it? Data-driven. You know, so I just found this really big mining node with the the Odyssey, and I found, you know, you could find the same thing with a Terrapin, or I found a wormhole with a Terrapin. Like there's so much different forms of data there, and I think the surprising thing for me was just how linked exploration and data running is going to be. I think we've got, like, you know, so things like the MSR, don't rule that out on the data, and I think we're going to see a bigger data ship in the future. Capital, I'm not sure, but I think you could definitely say there'd be some kind of large ship, like some kind of memory bank. I don't know, Algared, what's your thoughts on that?
I could see something like, I wouldn't be surprised if, well, technically I think for the data stuff, we do have a capital. It's the Endeavour. You know, it's got the massive, great big telescope for scanning. It's got the computer cores for gathering and decoding.
Maybe I'd have to. I don't remember there being a lot of computers on it, but maybe you're right and I'm wrong. I don't know.
several different computer modules. There's one for decrypting and decoding stuff, and there's one for
there you go.
helping with the upgrading of components. And so, yeah, there's 2 types of research components on there. So, but does that actually mean it's the only one we'll get?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and does that fall into the capital slot now, not the large?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Next question from Dentanu says, "How long do you think it will take?"
No, that's the one we just did.
Oh, sorry. Sem Pasta just asked, "Do you think COG will make a smaller base builder ship?" I'll let you answer this one because you know what my answer is going to be. Same as yours.
They could, but there'll be a small one somewhere, and we think there are flat packs. So
maybe not just the small one, but maybe like a ship that kind of helps you construct the flat packs, or so it's got a lot more tractor beams on it and stuff like that. So I think as you kind of come down with base building, it kind of winds out in utility. Maybe there will be a large one because there's obviously the Pioneer is I'm pretty sure the Pioneer's capital, yeah. Last time I remember.
Pioneer's capital.
Yeah, so maybe a large, maybe a medium. So yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one because again, they've kind of mentioned flat packing before, where the Pioneer can build it and then another ship can take it and deliver it. So it's not what it was in the original concept. Like the last thing we heard, it turned into like a 3D printer ship.
Yeah, the last thing we heard, it was a 3D printer ship. But what they had talked about was, in the lore, this was a ship that was making it easier to do what you couldn't do normally, and that was, base building was expensive because you had to cart all the stuff there and then construct it on site, or have it constructed and place it. Whereas this came and it 3D printed it where you wanted it, how you wanted it.
And going back to what Algared said about the flat packing, doesn't that just mean a normal cargo ship? So like the Nomad essentially is like a small, you know what I mean? Like it's hard to tell.
How much we can do and what they allow us to do, they're totally different. And
and if you watch what was that episode? 9 ships you never knew existed that we did the other week. It's the same thing in that. Like we can lay out on a grid what all the ships could possibly be, based on what they've told us, but obviously they can always break the mold because there are things that break. Like the Star-R is a really good example. It's a refueler, it's a gas miner, and it can also technically do cargo and a troop drop ship and a whole bunch of stuff. So they merge things together to make them more appealing when they're not as desirable, stuff like that. So you can see all the columns and grids, so to speak, but they can do whatever they want, So.
And I think when you look at the Starfarers doesn't quite fit into that. They put all this stuff in to make it appealing. Because when I first sold it, it was very appealing to people.
Yeah, but I think now when you know about the Nebula gas miner, that's why it has refueling, because it's very similar to the Nebula gas miner, but because it just loses on size, it had to have something else. So
but a lot of the other things, like the fact that it's got 12 seats and its cargo capacity, cargo hold, and they were there from the start. They weren't shoehorned in.
Yeah, but they probably designed. But they probably had all the ships designed on paper from the very beginning.
Or at least had an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question. Mike G asks, "Do you think they will ever add any cargo or box storage to the Legionnaire?" No, it doesn't need it. And the thing that ship has that the other drop ships or ship transport ships don't have is that small pad. All the other drop ships we've seen are medium, so it has a huge advantage in being that's its niche. So you gain a benefit, lose some other shit. Algared, your thoughts? Algared, you there, bro?
He's talking, but no sound.
He's muted himself.
I put myself on mute because I've got someone talking to me.
All right. All right, no worries. All right, sorry. I thought you'd accidentally mute. Laughing at you. Anyway, so he asked, "Do you think there'll ever any cargo box storages to the Legionnaire?" Is the question.
Sorry, I had a parent coming down and saying, "Oh, why aren't you at work today?"
Because I'm sick, Mum.
Friday.
I'm sick, Mum.
No, it's Friday, and I don't work on Friday. And they tried to insist, but it was Thursday.
Pretty sure it is Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's still Thursday.
Well, it depends where you're from. Oh, dear.
If it's Thursday today, then I taught all the wrong classes yesterday. So because I was following Thursday's timetable. But unfortunately, being a carer, you sometimes get that type of interaction when you don't necessarily want it. But yeah.
All right, someone answer the question. Do you think they will add any cargo or box storage to the Legionnaire?
No.
Yep.
No. It's a troop transport. It's a troop ship. It's meant to be carried on something like a Javelin or an Idris or a you know, that's it. That's its goal. That's its job. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you expect something more, suck it up, princess. You've been disappointed. If you do end up getting it, jump for joy because it's a privilege. So there you go.
It's definitely one of the most. I think the price point really does reflect how niche it is. You correct me if you think I'm wrong there, but I think that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Why that price is kind of
because that
lower
price
than we expected.
really did surprise us all, didn't it?
Yeah, the military. So the military guys were saying 350. I was saying 250. I can't remember what you said, but that just shows you what we were expecting.
I'd missed the discussion, but
oh
I
yeah,
was
because you were
probably around 200 or and I just died. Typical.
You died. See, it's not just me that dies. See, this game's a death trap.
The Legionnaire has got a cargo variant. It's a cutty black, isn't it?
No, because the Legionnaire's by Drake. Sorry, the Legionnaire's by Anvil, and the Drake is the Cutlass is by Drake. I'm all over the shop today.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was thinking of the other one.
It's all right, old man. It's all good. We'll forgive you. All right.
Okay.
Next question. Van Halen asks, do you think there will be a new optimization pass with the cargo factor comes in? Yeah, they've got the Vulcan stuff coming in as well, and the Gen 12 stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Just happened to be coming at the same time though. So yeah. John, question: would it be great if the Reclaimer could metal into round balls and fire them from railguns? So it turns its salvage into. Okay, yeah.
Railgun pellets.
Change salvage into ammunition.
That would really change salvage as a profession, but okay. Cyberfile asked question: is there any point to buying the 315p? I want to explore myself, but what is the main difference in exploration versus Pathfinder? I think the 315p is the utility. It's that tractor beam. What the?
Yeah. That size 3 utility mount on the front of the 315p is what gives it great versatility and makes it and it will probably mean it can fill in roles that other ships with tractor beams do in terms of loading and offloading. I think it's one of those origin ships that really does break their mold. It's not as useless as the others.
Yep. I will give Algared that, but then the caveat he knows I'm going to throw in is.
Other ships are better.
No, it's under. It's like a fighter. It's too cheap. Get something better.
Yep. It's a standard, and that's our standard thing. And that's the thing with those. To go back to those Endeavour modules, like.
Yeah.
You look at most of them. Like most of them are $30, $40. The most expensive are $100, $150. And even if those modules tripled in price, most of them are still under that $100 mark.
Yep.
Like, it's just. There are some people who do get them and who do have them because they're either insane or have OCD or they have 3 Endeavours. They've decided, yes, I want 3 Endeavours and yes, I want to have them set up, and it's just a lot easier for them.
Just comes back to that bang for buck, doesn't it? Like and like when we said 3.5 endeavors, we're not saying get 3.5 endeavors. What we're saying is, like, if you work it out, you're better just to have the one endeavor and then maybe 3 other ships, you know, or if you want the master set, how are you going to take that master set and apply it to one ship? You can't. Like, you need 4 endeavors to fully utilize that endeavor set. So it's just a stupid purchase.
Master set, the components in that master set have enough components to do to equip 3.5 endeavors.
No. It's 4 endeavors, but the price of it is 3.5.
But it's just not worth.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it in terms of what it can. In terms of bang for buck.
Yeah.
Is it worth having those endeavors? Yeah, sure. Is it worth, you know, is it a good thing to have them? Yeah. They have LTI, they've got the same component, blah, blah, blah. But we know from the latest update of the MISC portfolio in Jump Point is that those endeavor modules get changed by dockyard facilities. So it's not. And to me, that says it's not us just sitting in there with our little Mobi-Glass making the changes on the fly. It's going to a location, booking in, setting it, you know, doing it at the terminal, saying, yes, I want these modules on, and then waiting while it gets done. So it's not as quick and easy.
Is that just that spooling thing just a little bit too large? I don't even see my screen. Look how big that is. Takes up like more than a third of my screen. They need to rework the HUD on the Prospector, clearly.
It's for blind old bookers so they can see what they're doing.
Ah, okay. So it's your fault, John. Right, okay.
I
was thinking of the person who... I think I'm fitter than the pair of you.
No, yeah, here we go.
I'm rage quitting at this point.
Hey, I just noticed in chat, Nosy Mole joined YouTube membership. Hey, I think that's the 2nd person ever. We got one during the week, Algared. Actually, I have to look up what it was. We've only got a couple of YouTube members. But, yeah.
Oh, we've got a couple of YouTube members now. Woo.
So we've got Little Shaggy and Nosy Mole.
Well, thank you for Little Shaggy and Nosy Mole for joining us as YouTube members.
Welcome.
And if you want to help us out, you know, feel free to, you know, do that little $ at the bottom of the chat and buy us a coffee. If you like what we're doing. But never feel obligated.
I was going to say, if you want different options too, we've got options on Patreon instead as well. So it depends what you want. So yeah, you guys do you.
Do you. Don't feel obligated. We may occasionally make snide remarks or
as the Aussie way.
or jokingly suggested, but we never, ever, ever expect, demand, require financial assistance from you guys. We do this because we enjoy it. But hey, if you want to help us out, then we are more than happy to let you do that. And we often feel I'm always staggered. I'm staggered by the generosity of
helps us with gear mostly, doesn't it, Algared?
It does.
Yeah, well, because I'm probably gonna have to get a new camera because I don't know if you've noticed this thing keeps turning off all the time on me. So that's probably the next thing on the cards. Me and Algared have to look at what to go at because we both have the same camera, don't we, Algared? So whatever I ended up going for, we'll probably end up getting Algared one down the line as well. So yeah, because it just helps us because then I'm not saying this to be insulting, Algared. Algared's not the most tech savvy. So if I have one, I can diagnose his and help him with his. To give an example, when I got this camera, Algared had already had it for how long did you had it for? 18 months or something?
About that. And you said, I used the virtual camera.
And he didn't have it turned on to 4K. He'd just been using it in like 720 or something the whole time. And so I was able to
not using the I was using the camera's webcam option.
Yeah.
But not the virtual webcam option, and that changed it significantly.
Yeah, up the
so I missed what does the join do, guys?
Sorry, John, what was that?
I'm sorry, I missed. What does the join do?
So it basically gives you some little emotes and stuff that you can use in chat when you talk in chat, it highlights what you say. Yeah. Very, 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 very basic. And to be honest, for the $5, it's, I think on Patreon you get a similar thing, so you get naming the credits at the end of the episodes. Actually, that's probably something we should add to the YouTube one. It puts them in the credits as well. So we'll chuck that in there as well. So
and welcome as a member, Simon.
Yeah.
Simon Wolf.
Yeah. See, he gets to drop. See, he gets to drop the execute me emoji, which is.
There you go.
Do you know where that was taken from?
Nope.
So that was taken from when Salty Mike was on SC Leaks, and he just wouldn't let me speak, and I was livid as shit, livid, absolutely livid. I was mad as fuck, and that's me. That's the closest you'll ever get to a photo of me mad. But yeah.
There you go. The execute me.
Alright.
Emoji from. So Donald, you can drop that one as well. And the pilot, thank you for the coffee and giveaways animation there as well. And Rand here again.
Oh man, they're coming.
Camera fund.
They're coming thick and fast now. I feel guilty. I
Um,
feel we need to stop talking about it, Algared. That makes me feel guilty.
When they do drop it, we've got to at least acknowledge.
Yeah, we've got to acknowledge it, but like I don't like people throwing money at me. It's just not mine and Algared's way. That's why like even the giveaways we did, as we said, like for over Invictus, that was a test because we never wanted to really do giveaways because we felt like it was a bit of a cop out. But it works. Like we can now look at the evidence and see it does increase interaction and all that type of stuff. So we're probably gonna have to figure a way.
But we avoided it for so long because we wanted the channel to grow because people
wanted to be here.
Content, not because they were just here for the thing.
It was the same thing with monetizing the actual channel. We didn't monetize for, I think, until 2 or 3 years in, and that was because But if you don't play the game with YouTube, they just don't put you forward.
And Vengeful Devil, thank you again. We'd like to see.
That's funny. That was funny.
That's the best line ever, Algared. You have to read that. You have to read that because it's tailored at you.
Vengeful Devil wants to see my shiny head in HD.
Yeah. You have to get some head polish and see, there goes my camera again. But yeah, get you some head polish, Algared.
And that's the problem that we have with Execute at the moment.
Yeah.
Although that was not a bad look. That was actually probably one of the better.
What was the other one when me, you and Paul were doing that show and you both all held that stance? I'm like, fuck you guys. You were mocking the shit out of me, but it was funny.
Yeah, we were.
I have to admit.
We were giving him significant grief.
All right, next question. Alexander Cohen asks question. What do you think? Oh, he says, y'all think, he's definitely American, that the Mule's place will be considering that the Ursa carries 2 times SCU boxes plus 8 times 1.8 SCU boxes. I think it's a loader. It's a loader. And also an Ursa is kind of more multi-person. Do I think there are going to be other loaders? Absolutely. There's definitely a forklift in there somewhere. And I mean like a traditional manual forklift. And I think they're all going to work together. I think they're all going to have, like as Space Tomato was saying when I was on his podcast the other week, 100 vehicles. So now at launch we've got 200 vehicles, 200 ships and 100 vehicles. So essentially they've just upped the count quite significantly.
And totally different vehicle. Like the Mole is the ubiquitous equivalent to the Argo. You know, it is your multi-purpose utility.
Oh, that would
vehicle.
be why. Lol. Like, why isn't this auto landing? I'm full laze mode.
You know, so yeah, 100%. Agree with you. The Earth's a totally different role.
That ship's got landing gear.
I don't know why it wasn't, but it seems to be working now.
You know, so it does have though that purpose of role of what it's doing. It's taking the exploration team out. Yes, it can carry some cargo, so it can bring some stuff back, but its goal is not for unloading a ship. Its goal is not for transporting or moving cargo around. Totally different role, totally different purpose. The Mule is the first vehicle we've got specifically designed for that.
It won't be the last though.
No, won't be the last.
Yeah.
But that's but that's what makes it unique in our car.
Because like,
vehicle.
if you basically look at like all the ships, you could almost take the equivalent of that and put it on the ground. You know, so a mining vehicle, you know, like the whole sea is like essentially like a cargo train. I could literally see a car like you know, like a long haul truck, you know, with the multiple carriages. I could see that. We got roads coming. We know that's a thing. So this is not all pie in the sky. You know, an ambulance, a fire truck. Like we've talked about a fire truck before too in space, and people thought we were. Badger's brought that up, didn't he? The you know, a ship that stops you from like can repair an explosive decompression. So it goes up to the airlock and it basically seals it and recompresses the ship so it can rescue people. You know, that's not a pie in the sky idea either.
Fully see that.
Yeah.
So yep.
All right. Next question. Alexander Cowan asks, "What do you?" Oh no, that was the same question. The Geek. What is the favorite ship? Mine is the Caterpillar. Algared, I'll let you go first on that one.
I think I struggle. I don't really have a favorite ship.
I don't think I do
like
either. Yeah, I don't have a favorite manufacturer. So yeah.
John's is the prospector.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But John's
but
also drunk and old, so he's got Alzheimer's. So it's, you know,
I don't drink.
balances out.
No, he's just
What are we talking about?
Are you trying to tell me you don't have a cup of tea in front of you, John?
I have a cup of tea, but I don't drink alcohol. Oh, look, there's an ugly mush in there, dressed up in that special suit. Look.
Is that you?
No, that's you.
You're always in white, John. We're just waiting on Algared.
Yeah, I rage quit.
Oh, you rage quit?
I literally did. I literally rage quit.
All right, well, we'll go without him. Let's go, John. Let's go mining. Brought John on here to mine because he's really good.
Why did he rage quit this time?
Because he died. He probably got all the way here and crashed. And
I died. I sent me back to Orison, and then I crashed the desktop. And I went, that's it. I'm not restarting. That was the death and the crash to the desktop. It just made me go, yeah, I'm done.
Yep. And that allows Algared to focus on the questions. So,
and it allows me to focus more on the questions rather than other stuff. So.
Yep.
Would you like to start a party then?
I don't know. That sounds like a lot of effort. I will.
As I'm old and feeble, you'll have to do that.
Old and feeble. Tell that to Diane. I bet she won't take that line down. Diane is John's missus. So yeah. All right, invite sent, John.
She's my lady.
Oh, in Australia we say missus. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but she is a lady.
Oh, there you go.
She's that much of a lady. She puts up with you at times.
She does.
She does.
I have
she's generally more on my side than she's on yours, though, John.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Usually does that.
He makes me try and look bad in front of her, and she knows that he is lying. So that's the funny thing.
She knows his defense. That's true. Yeah, I've been there when it's happened.
Yeah, she knows you too well. That's the problem. You try to throw me under the bus, and she's like, no. Yeah.
All right. So Shane Barrett has a question.
Next.
He says, "Do you think they will implement species planting, like seeding a planet with an NPC population?" And in the same vein, terraforming. I certainly see them in allowing us to introduce invasive species into planet systems.
Species.
And if we do it too much, we screw up the system. So yeah, I could see it.
I could see them doing events where a new place has been terraformed, and you know, you got people fighting over whether they take that as their home or what is the terraforming outcome going to be, and if we don't kind of like the event that you and I talk about, Algared, with the Sol system. You know what I mean? Like if we don't interfere, it'll go one way, but if we come in and help, we can have a more desirable outcome that's favorable to us.
So
all right, where are we going, John?
Lyria.
All right.
Execute's referring to a discussion I had with Aaron back in 2014, and we was talking about, you know, if a Vandal attacked for example, if a Vandal attacks Sol, and we just leave a Vandal there, the system would switch over to a Vandal system. But if we actually went there, we could actually stop them and kick them out and keep the system as human. But he also said, but if we did X, Y, and Z, we may actually prevent them from actually ever even being able to get to Sol. And so even though the plan might be, oh yes, the Vandal will come and sack Sol, depending on what the players did, could actually make that totally impossible for them to do that. So, sorry.
That's all right.
So that's the kind of idea that was being picked up.
I just want to, just while we're on that topic, Algared, I'm going to go to the star map.
Yeah.
I hope I've gone to the star map now. Hold on. Oh man, so many. Yeah, okay, I'm on the star map. Right. So here on the star map, this is something like if you think they're not going to attack the Sol system, you've got rocks in your head, and I'll show you why very, very simply. And it's really evident once you look at this map. So let's go. So we're at the Sol system, but if you turn on the gates, right, there is only 2 into Sol system. But look at all this space over here, right? It is highly likely there is one from Vega or Virgil to the Sol system. And again, if you know how the whole game is based on the history of Rome, and how they got into Rome, they're clearly coming in the back door. You would agree with that, Algared, yeah?
Yeah, well, why do we call Vandals Vandals in our modern culture? It's because the Vandals sacked Rome.
Can you remember when we told that to Seer and he Googled it? And he's like, oh my God! Like, do you remember that? I remember that day. Just the way he got really excited.
Yeah.
Because it literally says Vandals, and the only difference in spelling is like 1 L. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
A-L rather than U-L-L.
Yeah.
Or W-L.
So yeah, anyway, I just want to share that real quick.
But yeah, so we fully expect that there's a jump point or 2 in the Sol system that has yet to be discovered that goes straight to Vandal space. So when it happens, don't be surprised. Big Boss Boy 2002 says, what do you guys really want is an Argo capital ship? Yeah, why not?
So Argo is very industrial. A lot of the smaller ships seem to hang around the ports. So I don't see an Argo capital being port locked, do you? Like, unless it's some kind of huge unloader ship. Like a mega sky crane, like a mega version of the Raft. That's the only other thing I can think of, unless you can correct me, Algared. I would say it's more likely in the industrial vein. So, salvage, mining, gas mining. There you go. There's another one.
Salvage mining,
gas mining,
repair.
Yeah, there's another one.
Repair. Given, and that actually works with Argo when you look at their history, because in their history, they actually start off as the company that's maintaining and repairing the transport systems on planets. So they started off repairing the rail system on Earth.
Where are we going, John?
I'm going to Buckets.
Buckets.
Or just flying down there, then just pick a direction and start searching.
I was just going to come with you, John, because I have no idea what I'm doing. I just can't find John. Where the hell is he?
So yeah,
right next to me.
Just aim for Buckets.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Buckets, John. I don't know where it is.
Just go there, John, and he'll follow you.
Yeah, you go there and I'll follow you, John.
Because if you follow your marker, that's the easiest way for him to just follow you.
And he went. Is he going around the planet?
There he is. Just follow him. Just follow that.
The orphanage, Sherburne mining. But I can't, look, I just can't. I'm so confused.
We stood there that long, it's gone dark
Buckets.
over there.
There you go, Buckets. You found it. Took me forever, but I found it. It was always the last place you look. I've always hated that line. My mum used to say that all the time. I used to get so mad. Of course it's the last place I look, because I found it!
So, Aaron Odos has a question.
Yep.
He says, how do you all feel about the new Legionnaire essentially being a snub craft for any ships with docking collar. Well, it's actually a snub ship for any ship with a hangar, giving it fits on a small pad.
I still think you can use it as a dropship too, believe it or not, because it holds the troops and stuff. So it is a bit more versatile than, you know, it's not the easiest ship to get out of, obviously, compared to a regular dropship, but you can still do it in a pinch.
Yeah.
Is it niche? Yeah, it is, but...
And given that CIG have indicated in the past that you can't warp while docked, like on a docking collar, it doesn't become a snub ship for any ship with a docking collar. The P52 connection is a totally different setup, and it's clamped into place once it's docked. So I don't see this being a snub ship for any ship with a docking collar.
It's definitely more combat orientated, isn't it? Like one of the things.
It certainly answers that question we had, as to terms of we knew it'd fit in the Javelin, we knew it'd fit in the on
Kraken.
We thought it'd fit on the pad of a Legionnaire. We thought it'd fit in a
You mean Sorry, I got to correct you. You said Liberator can. Legionnaire can fit on the pad of a Legionnaire. You meant Liberator. Yeah, sorry.
I meant Liberator.
Yeah. Sorry.
We thought it'd fit in the Odyssey. We thought it'd fit in the Polaris. The fact that CIG said it's a small ship and fits on a small ship pad confirmed that it fits on all of those. The only one we're still not 100% certain of, and I haven't checked the Q&A out, is can it does the height of it stop it functioning on an Idris? And my feeling is, based on what they've done and to try and make it the smaller ship that goes through small jump points, etc., is it will fit in an Idris, but that's still unconfirmed.
Yeah,
so,
I think it'll be fine.
So yeah.
John, why can't I scan this? There you go.
All right, so
John, why is this rock purple and not yellow?
Because
if you scan it, they're all purple now, mate.
Really? Oh, they've changed it.
You scan them. How close are you to it?
Pretty close. Here we go.
79 meters.
It's full of garbage. Man, there's something wrong with my altimeter too. Like, I don't know if anyone can see that on the right there. It's broken. So what was that, John?
The altimeters are not working.
Yeah,
on some of the planets.
Moving on, and we have the
go for it.
Harry Kirakosyan says, can't choose between the Nautilus and the Perseus. Which ship would you prefer more?
Depends on what type of person you are, doesn't it, Algared? Are you a defensive or an offensive person? Do you want... Yeah. I think the Nautilus is probably more unique, personally, but...
I think the Nautilus probably gives you more bang for buck.
Agreed.
Because it's a bigger ship.
Agreed.
It's going to be harder to earn in game. It does have the same size weapons, but it has less of them.
Mm-hmm.
But its main value in defense or offense is in its mines, and we don't know that much about them.
Yeah.
It requires bigger crew, but it's got more amenities. So if we're going bang for buck, and what therefore I expect it to be in game, the cost of it should be over the top.
I got a 2% Quantanium, John. Woohoo! No.
Oh yeah, well done. Now, do you know how to find out how many's in the cluster from a distance?
No, John. You're trying to ask me complex questions, John. John knows everything about mining, right? He lives for this.
If you want to do mining,
shit, that was
you go mining with John, and John will teach you, because he's just,
He knows too much.
Basically, you just hit your scan, and what have you got it set at, 360 or 179?
Wait. I had it 179? 179, John.
Okay, then just scan and find a box at a distance.
I had a rock here and it's gone. Oh, there it is. Nope. Man, it's really disorientating being in the dark like this.
And your lights on. That might help.
That's not a
Now,
terrible
if you want to know how many rocks are in a cluster from a distance,
right?
When you've done your scan like that and you've got a few boxes shown up,
Yeah.
knock your degree down to 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then once you've knocked down to 2,
Mm.
ping again,
Oh,
and
okay.
it'll come up with 1 star or more. All depends what's in there.
Yeah, there's 1 star. Yep. And then go into
So that's
scanning mode.
just 1 rock.
Am I scanning in
Right.
scanning mode, or what am I? I've got the star, but I don't see what you. What am I doing now, John?
But that is just 1 rock you're looking at there now.
Yep.
It's not a cluster.
So if it was a
So if
cluster,
you
there'll
go
be
back to
multiple.
what-
There'll be multiple stars. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right,
So
now
if you
I'm
go
moving
back
it,
to 180, scan again, find another.
Let's scan again, find another lock, and then do the same thing. And
Yeah.
when you get multiple stars, you know you got a cluster. I think that's what I'm hearing John say.
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Because 2 or more rocks is quantanium on Olivia.
Is that 1 star or 2 stars, John? Looks like
That's 1.
1 star.
That's
okay.
1.
Okay.
But I thought it was daylight this side, so sorry about bringing you to the dark, mate.
You just like the dark
John,
side.
John is clearly.
I think it's Darth John.
Mm,
I might have the voice of Darth Vader at the moment, but
John's got the look.
he's certainly the dark side.
Well, not anymore. Too old to be on the dark side, mate.
Man, heaps of one. Everything I've scanned has been a 1, but okay.
All right, so moving on.
Yep, go for it.
Val Halen has another question for us. Van Halen would like to know, would you guys want to see a gunship version of the Hull A, B, Cs? Not really.
No, they actually talked about way back when that you could put sentries and turrets in boxes and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So we'll probably see some kind of variant made up by the player base to that description.
Yeah, I never liked that idea.
Me either.
It is, if you look at the value of Q ships have usually been pretty crappy.
Ooh.
There are very few Q ships in history that I know of that worked or succeeded. One is Cormoran, which
I'm going to forget what I need to say, Algared, so can I say it real quick? Do you remember when that person was asking about transporting ships from one system to the other? Do you remember when they said that you could put ships in crates and then put them on a Hull A or on the Hull series? Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
That's another important point. Sorry to interrupt, but if I didn't say it, I was going to forget it.
No. So in terms of Q ships, there's only a couple that I know of that really worked well in history. One was the Cormoran, which was responsible for being able to torpedo and cause the sinking of the Sydney in World War II. And the other one is a German cruiser from World War I, I think, which basically sailed around the Mediterranean and
oh, I got dual rocks.
Captured a whole pile of.
I got 5.
Oh yeah, just rub it in, John. Rub it in.
And that's why John is the master miner, and we are but grasshoppers. So Q ships don't tend to work. They rely on the ability to get close to the quarry and then blast them in a salvo. And in the example I used of a Cormoran, even though the Cormoran basically fatally wounded the Sydney still destroyed the Cormoran, and then sailed off under steam, giving the impression that the crew were endeavouring to enact repairs and didn't think they were in danger, and the evidence seems to say that the torpedo had kind of weakened the hull and broke her back, and she went down with all hands. So Q ships don't, they seem to have this great position in history, and yet history says they suck. So
They make good films.
they make for good films. They make for a good story. That's right. But yeah, there is at least, I think, one military version of a a hull C that's used, and the other unique hull C we have is the one that goes around the racetracks putting up lewd messages. Usually, they used to be lewd anti-mesa messages, I think, but either way.
What you got there, Rex?
I got 8.4% Quantanium. Is that enough?
Nah.
Was
What's
that
the other one? Yeah, what's the other one?
The other one's like 3%.
Hey, I've got the mass is only 2,602, but it's a 48.41% Quantanium.
Oh, what is with you and just rubbing it in, John? Just for fuck's sake. Just,
Yeah, but it's not a very-
I bow down to your superiority, John. Fine.
It's only a small rock, but you will get.
It's the motion of the ocean, John. It's not the size of the rock. We all know this.
She said.
That's exactly right. All right, I'm coming over, John.
Okay, you can have this one.
Okay.
No, I'll just watch you mine it. It's fine.
Aurora's Realis Indomitus has a question. They said, "Do you think they will show us to be a man on Alien Wood?"
Let's hope so. That would be
able to work around it. That would
Hollow
be...
viewer. Hollow viewer. You reckon? Maybe. Algared?
I would love them to, to show that, even if it was a hollow viewer. I think it'll be there. I'd love to be able to, even if I had it there and we could actually just walk up into one or two of the rooms, would be awesome. But I have no idea. But I live in hope. And gathering from what you said, you would love to see that as well. What about you, John?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was just actually looking at the quote from Selkin Hunter in the chat there. For miner, John. No, I'm an average miner, but I'm very lucky.
Piss off. Best miner I've ever seen. Without a shadow of doubt. Every person I've put him up against, like I've tested it, right? And every person it must have been about 8 people now, he just floors them. People that say they're great miners, he floors them. So, if you think you're a good miner, put yourself up against John. And I'd struggle
John,
yeah, John tends to be very on point. He's very humble, but he definitely the best miner I've seen.
No, I'm the luckiest miner I know. I'm not. Anybody can mine. It's just actually finding the stuff, and I seem to be lucky.
Yeah, but
John,
because you do it so often, John, you just know all these little things like what you said to me before about how your consumables don't transfer at the moment and stuff like that. You just do it so often.
Yeah, but that's basic knowledge. When you first claim a ship, you think, oh, where's they gone?
Yeah.
All right, so which one are you mining, John?
That one you just was shining on.
That one over here.
Yeah, it's only a small rock. It's only 2,600,
No,
but as 50 with a good split.
It says
50% of that.
23.5. It says for me. This one. Am I on the right one?
2602, mate.
What the hell?
Is the mass?
Am I drunk? Okay, no, it's 48.4 on my screen right now. Is this the right same? We're on the same rock, John.
Yeah, 48.4%, and it's 2602. The mass, 2,602.
All right, well, I'll put my laser on it just to give you a bigger window. There you go. Go nuts.
In terms of John's comments about being lucky, I just point out what Napoleon used to say about generals. He'd always ask, are they lucky? And if they're lucky, he's the man. He didn't care if they were good or not, but whether they were lucky.
Yep. All right, you're driving, John. I'm just a green screen.
Okay, mate, not a problem. We don't need a lot of power anyway for this because it's only a small rock.
Okay, and now we go down and we see how long to the giveaway. Yeah, we probably should do another giveaway.
Yeah, we should. I was planning for 9 o'clock.
Actually, given that you need to go in an hour.
Yeah. All right. We'll
our second giveaway.
Quickly go over. I've got to grab this video, so we'll do the Legionnaire next. I've got to grab this.
Aren't we going to do the go up the line?
Yeah. So the Legionnaire is next.
Ah, the Legionnaire is the next expensive ship, isn't it? Wow.
That's all right.
My apologies. Clearly, I'm befuddled at the moment.
Yeah, you're a little unwell, man.
Yeah, you've been do you?
What's wrong?
We had a desync there, mate. It went from middle of the green up to the red.
Yep, I'm hearing a lot of excuses. Filter duplicate users include replies and commands. Yeah, the problem with these giveaways is I need to go check people.
Yeah.
So yes, we have someone, but I can't tell you who it is because I need to go check, and I can't check until I get off stream because there's just too much shit I got to check. So yeah, I apologize for that. I did plan to do all this in advance.
There it goes again, look. It's not a very stable server at all, mate.
Welcome to Australia, mate. Try this person
Now,
down.
Shadow Girl.
And that is
this
even if we were thinking of just picking you, we can't do that now because you've asked us to.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
What I'll do, just so at the moment, the person that won the mule, their name starts with B. The person that starts with the person for the Legionnaire starts with S. So that kind of rules out 90% of the people. You can kind of tell, well, hey, my name doesn't start with S. So yeah.
Shadow Girl's now going, please.
Yeah, but the problem is we have to check that these people are subbed. So the last time we did a giveaway with the F7A upgrade, I literally drew like six or seven people because I would go through and it's like that person has duplicate accounts, that person's not subscribed, that person is like done whatever, and there was in some cases I had to go to the very last one to get the winner. So yeah, there are some people that do some unfortunately dodgy shit. It's just the nature of it.
Yes, there's a new group, the S Club.
So yeah. And yeah, as I said, unless I can find a comment, maybe I can look for a different comment picker that'll tell me. Hang on. Bear with me. You ask another question, Algared.
Yep. So while Execute sees if we can work out how we can solve our dilemma, we had great plans, best laid plans of mice and men. All the all strategies work until all plans work until the first sign of combat, and then everything goes to crap. Well, for us, best plans for a stream were awesome beforehand, but the second we go in a stream, everything goes to pot. So yeah. All right. So next one is from Hayes ×3. He says, how do you perceive a crucible will operate as far as what gets expended during repairs? Depends what you're repairing. If it's repairing a component, then it'll probably use a component if it's got it in store. If it's using its arms, it'll probably using the chemicals or whatever it's using that material. So those arms I expect will work similar to what the drones do, and it does have 4 drones. I believe it's got 4 drones, just like the Vulcan. If you want to double check that, go back and have a look at our 2 ship scrutinies on the Crucible, because we did the first one and we went, oh crap, we forgot this, and we basically went through everything we could find on the Crucible that had been written and everything we could find, but it had been on video. When we kind of looked at what it could do and why it is one of our most often promoted and encouraged ships to get, because people often say it's just not, why do I need a Crucible? And they just don't get it.
Yeah.
I just don't see that quality of value, and
it comes down to probably the simplest thing is if you have any form of capital ship, you're going to want a Crucible, because there's not going to be a shipyard in every system, and if it breaks, you're going to have to get someone else to bring a Crucible to you. It's going to save you so much money just on that alone. And that's not to mention you've got an entire org, and the orgs that back in the day we had 2 Crucibles in an org of 600 people. That is not enough.
Yeah.
It's underrated.
People just don't see the value of that repair aspect. And people even today say, oh well, a Vulture is not a Vulture. A Vulcan is much better because it's less crew and everything else. But then when you look at bang for buck at the moment, the Crucible is still hands down the best one to get because it's $350 still. It's original price. Which is, you know,
people talk about how important medical is. Repair's exactly the same. Ships are also more likely to be damaged than humans in my book. You know, look at the deaths that I died today. The ship died as well when I died. You know, so I tend to lose a ship almost every time I die, and then you kind of extrapolate that across. Like, you tend to lose ships more than you lose lives, especially if you're in a group scenario. You know, you might lose one person. You know, but the ship is almost always going.
Yeah. So I think that pretty much answers what we perceive as a Crucible there. Jimmy for real has a question.
Yep.
How do I enter the giveaway? Unfortunately, Jimmy, the giveaways were during Invictus.
Oh, you can
launch
still
week.
no. If he still goes, so essentially, you just got to go leave a comment on any of the videos that were for the predictive day. So Anvil, RSI, and Drake. But as I said, unless I have to redraw the Mule or the Legionnaire, the only one that left that you can go comment on right now is the RSI day, and that'll be for the Scorpius. And we'll do that before I leave. I have to go to a dentist appointment. And I have to catch a bus to get there, so it's going to take me about an hour to get there. So I need to leave.
Yeah, we've got a hard cut down at 10.
10:15. 10:15. But yeah. Worst case scenario, I can catch an Uber if I have to, but I would rather not spend the money on the Uber.
No. So yeah. So if you go to that video and you're a subscriber, and you know, then leave a comment and you're in the running. So,
oh, you're already extracting, John.
Yes, right.
Yeah, you know, that's John for you. Because he's just a lucky miner. And I'm not disputing that you're a lucky miner. As I said, you know, Napoleon would rather have lucky generals than good generals.
Yep.
Lots of good generals, not many lucky ones. Omar Oms, he says, are there any concierge ship packs you'd recommend?
Ooh, not anymore. I think we could have both got behind that Explorer one, but man, what they did to it at this Invictus, nope.
Yep.
No way.
You look at what and what you can do with Warbond CCUs.
Yeah.
If I get access to a Crucible Warbond CCU, I could probably get a Crucible for significantly less than the original starting price.
Yep.
Hell, people have done it for Carrack. You know, even at its current pricing, people have been able to get the Carrack for less than the original price. Same for the BMM. That's just insane. I know when we were talking to, I think we were off camera and we were talking to Sandy, and she was staggered by that, just by that realization. But it was so easy to get ships less than the original starting price. And I don't think that from her it was that shock of, oh no, we're not making money. I think it was that shock of just how much you could save just by Warbond CCUs. Because I don't think they really realise. They really look at it and go, well, you got a 10, you know, oh, people are going from this ship to the, you know, they're using one, they're imagining, at least in their thinking, they were originally imagining you were doing a one ship jump. You were taking this ship and then jumping to the ship you wanted and saving $20 or $30.
We've often said, haven't we, Algared, we're not sure they understand their own system, like what they've done. Yeah.
You know, and I know Sandy's out of the more or less out of the loop or as such in terms of controlling the sales and marketing now. She probably still has an idea of what's going on, but not that depth that she used to. So, but yeah, so unless it's a really awesome pack, it's just not worth it. Because you can get everything in the packs generally for cheaper, and often the little extras are in there are a frustration and an annoyance.
We're going back to RK1, John?
Yes, mate. Do you want to go and find some more goodies?
No, I'm going to follow you. I think I might even swap over the Scorpius just for a little bit and escort you.
Actually,
Algared will tell you it's very hard to drive a stream, answer questions, and do all this stuff at the same time. So it gets a little bit. It's a bit taxing on the noggin sometimes to try and answer questions, stream, and Algared knows I do a lot of stuff in the background. Like sometimes I just get distracted. He can hear me. He knows when I'm thinking. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And this camera.
Yeah, and he's got that.
That's like 3 times in a row that just died. Yeah.
So Paige asks,
did you want to compare the Hurricane and the Scorpius for size?
do you have a Hurricane or a Scorpius?
I have a Hurricane, yes.
Is it RK1?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Then,
Well, I'll summon.
yes, that would be awesome.
I'll summon my Scorpius though.
And have you got an SR as well?
No.
I can summon it. I can summon the MSR, and you got the Connie. All right, yeah, well, I'll summon the MSR there then, as well. Okay, no problem.
So Page asked, he has a question for us. He says, it's also my note. He says, this might have been said, but have you met anyone who will never see the game finished? It's hard to think now, but an old member of his would be happy to play where the PU's at. Yeah, I probably know myself. I probably will not be around by the time the game is finally finished and all 100 systems and everything else is in.
You and me both, mate.
I think you're both wrong there. I think the systems are going to roll up a lot quicker than you expect.
But I do know people who are quite ill, in terms of their in terms of being able to see the game. Will we see Squadron 42 before then? Yeah, no problem. I've got no doubt Squadron 42 will be out within the next year or two.
How come John didn't get interdicted and I did? Huh? Was it?
Because he's lucky.
I'm lucky.
Yeah, he's lucky, bloody oath.
See, you're not lucky. Napoleon wouldn't pick you as a general. He'd pick John.
Friends like you two. Who needs bloody enemies? Jesus. Ugh. All right.
Yeah, but we're both lucky, so you just tag along behind us and you'll be okay.
Fair enough.
That's why he got interdicted and you didn't.
Next
well, look at you. You look guilty to start off with.
Yeah, you know, unshaven, hat, you know.
Yes, I need to shave. Thank you for reminding me. Definitely got... I don't know who's more wispy at the moment, my cat or my beard, but yeah, it's just so warm, Algared.
I hope your cat doesn't look rough.
I got to admit, it is when I do the Chrome Dome in winter, you do notice that even the small amount of hair I have makes a significant difference to the warmth.
Yeah, if I could pick her up when she wasn't radioactive, I'd show you. But yeah, she's quite here. Imagine like Jabba the Hutt that was a cat, but that was really furry and she's ginger. So she's kind of like a slightly long-haired ginger, and she's very tubby, very very tubby.
And no to whoever said the comment about Napoleon. No, he wasn't lucky in the end. He did.
Died of arsenic poisoning.
He did. The British killed him. The bastards.
Got one of his paid one of his friends off to keep feeding him arsenic until he died. That's why he had a really round belly in the end.
I thought he had a really round belly to start with, but no, I think they when he was in the island of St. Helens at the end, they ensured that he wouldn't ever get away. And one way they did that was they killed him. So yes, the things we do. Okay, so Iron Physic has a question. Do you think capital-sized industry ships Origin, so Orion, Hull D, etc., will get a med bed?
No. As I said, like with any good design, there is a positive and there's a negative, and there's a balance to things. So you know, if you get that positive, you remove that positive, you can remove that negative, but you can't, you know, have your cake and eat it too. There's got to be positives and negatives, or it just doesn't work.
course you can have a cake and eat
the biggest thing that makes me eye roll, and I'll be honest with it, is when you get someone, and someone said it before, like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if the Reclaimer could fire metal balls, right? And my brain always goes to not every ship is going to be able to do everything. And you see these people in the comments in our videos all the time. It's like, what was that ship, Algared? And I can't remember what it was, but it was some random ship that was a combat ship, and they're like, wouldn't it be awesome if that could mine? And I'm like, no, because it's a combat ship. Why would you want a combat ship that can mine? So people
do everything.
Yeah, people want these ships that do everything, and it's just never going to happen because it's not good design. It'd be boring. If you think about it, if you could just buy one ship and that's all you ever needed, what's the point of playing the game?
What ships would you see in game?
Well, the thing is, if a combat ship could mine, it wouldn't be a combat ship anymore,
Exactly.
would it? It'd be a mining ship.
Yeah, and that's why all these little mining ships, look, have pea shooters.
And I think, like, even if... Will they have some form of medical facility? Yeah, possibly. Will they have a med bed that can resurrect? No. They may have a...
Because then it kills the Apollo and the Cody and Red and...
So they might give you a medical bay with a doctor's office and a couple of med tools and supplies to do stuff. You might have the portable equipment, but it's not going to be the same as a bed.
Yeah.
And it's part of that gameplay loop. You've got to give that different variety. You look at any MMO. Is your fighter, your healer / magician / everything else? No.
Well, that's
you
a really
have different classes in the game for a purpose.
That's a really good example. You're gaining the healing but losing the damage. It's like a tank. You lose the damage, but you're getting all the extra health.
Yeah,
it's exactly that. That's a really
Even our fighters, like they're really heavy on damage. What do we find they're weak on? They're either really slow and sluggish, or they've got crap all hit points.
Armor or hit points. Armor. Yeah. And that's another perspective. You can have heaps of shields but no armor. And I guarantee you there'll be some ship out there that has heaps of armor, heaps of shields, but next to no guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's kind of it's
kind of the
ships like the Javelin. They seem really big guns, really heavy armor, really good shields, but compared to everything else, they're slow as.
And it requires heaps of people to run it too.
And it requires lots of people to run it. So, and there'll be those type of aspects that come into play as well. So, yeah. All right, moving right along because we are running out of time.
That's all right.
So, HK.
I'm gonna say right now, I don't think we're gonna get through all the questions today, but that's fine. We'll roll them over into next week. Yeah.
Do you think the Corsair is going to be an exploration-oriented or combat?
Say that again.
Is the Corsair exploration or combat? It's for exploring the interior of ships. There you go.
Yeah.
I think it's an exploration ship. I think it's overgunned. But it fits. It's not significantly overgunned compared to, say, a Connie.
Definitely got more guns than the regular explorers, though.
Yep, but it's from Brief to tell us. The trade-off of that is it flies worse than a Connie and probably doesn't have as much armor as a Connie. Does it mean it's unarmored? No. Does it mean it's got no shield? No. It just means it's not as good as the other ships around it. But it's got heavier weapons. But there'll be a trade-off. If it really flies significantly worse than a Connie, it probably will have better armor or better shields as well as the better weapons because they do that. It's that getting that balance. So yes, it'll be an exploration ship, but it'll be one that can do combat. You got nothing else to add on that, do you, Exy?
No, I agree.
Okay. Alistair Lowry, why retract that question, Coach? I don't know what the question was, so I don't know what to retract.
Got to put your questions in context.
Yep.
I think someone said they didn't want a question answered earlier. I remember reading that a while back. So yeah.
Are they, Mr. Blobby says, are they planning on upgunning the 890?
Hey, Mr. Blobby, it's been a while. Yeah.
I don't think the I've always thought the 890 doesn't really need upgunning. So
I think it kind of already is, isn't it, for its size? But yeah.
It's got 2 man-size 5s, 2 remote-size twin-size 3s, so other turrets. It is missing, certainly on the automated turrets that we're supposed to have. It looks like they're all going to just be missiles, where originally it did have automated lasers as well as missiles, so it'd be nice to have that aspect, but I don't think it needs upgunning. You can already take 3 arrows in the hangar bay, or 2 extra small ships, and I think they originally were doing it so it could at least take 1 small ship, so you could actually put a 300 on there, because back in the design, that was one of the things players was saying, hey, we've got this ship, why can't we put our 300 in the hangar bay? So that might be something that it can do as well. So
there's a guy in chat that it's asking me to unhide his message. He wants someone to give him money in game. Should I unhide that, Algared, or no?
No.
No, it's in game money. He wants money given to him in game.
Why does he need the money in game?
It says he's at day 5, and it would be hugely appreciated, as it means I could buy the prospector.
He's only got 25 more days to go. I'm a harsh man.
No,
but, yeah, look,
John might be the one that's.
Look, I don't really.
How much did we make on that run, John?
About 200,000, mate, after refined.
Should we give it to this guy in chat?
Which guy is it? And is he in game?
In game, his name is LMAC1. He wants
LMAC1.
He wants, yeah, capital L, capital M, capital A, capital C, 1.
Because he wants to buy a prospector.
Yeah, he wants to buy a prospector.
Is he in our server?
I don't think so. But yeah, he wants to buy a prospector.
Since you don't fly on the prospector, I think I'll mute him. If people are in game and they want to give him some cash, why not?
I don't normally hand it out to people who ask for it.
Yeah, me either, man. Me either. So
yeah, if I see somebody who needs help and I go and help him, and then we hang about a bit, and I let him fly a few chips.
I'm the same, mate.
Who's the person who was asking?
Lewis McDonald Media is in
Lewis
chat.
McDonald Media. The best thing you can do is rent a prospector.
Yeah, that's probably what you should do. Well, if he rents it, then he could use that to earn he only needs 300 more K. I think Aaron's kind of right.
No, I would rent a prospector because he would not be able to get quant because you can't upgrade.
Yeah, that's true. This is true.
The best way to earn money if he wants to do mining is go rent a Cutty, Black and a Rock.
Yeah, you really do know nothing about mining, though, don't you, John? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing about mining. Just trashes Algared's whole concept in like 5 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally shot down that.
I would have said the same thing, Algared. Just to be honest.
Yeah, well, I picked it up from chat. That's what I'd do. But clearly, John, rent a cuddy, get a rock, and go gem mining. There you go.
And Cyber Taniwao, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Quant isn't needed to make money, but it's the easiest way to make money if you're mining.
Agreed.
Yep, have to agree with that.
Just pay so much more than anything else at the moment.
Stephen Van Beek has a question. He says, when is ship engineering coming? When it's ready?
I guess it'll be part of the repairs. You got like sub-components and stuff like that, so...
Yep.
I think you'll probably see it more along the sub-component line before you see it as in, like, I am an engineer. I think it won't be, like, the dedicated role to a lot further down the line, but yeah.
Yeah, Shadow Girl's added to the Quantanium debate. She says it's not easiest, it's the fastest.
Agreed.
That's probably more accurate.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Well, I think it is the easiest.
Yeah,
no, it's definitely not easier, John, because it's volatile.
Yeah.
Just that alone makes what you said silly. It's definitely the fastest, though.
Really, it is. It's the easiest to find. It pays the best. All you got to do is go to Livia, find 2 rocks, and you've got Quantanium. Whether it's good 2 rocks or bad 2 rocks, that's beside the point. 2 rocks or more on Olivia is Quantanium. No ifs, no buts. So it's easier to find than anything else.
All right, John, get your hurricane out, please.
I guess in that sense, he is right. It is quicker and easier. But you've just got to know that I've got 15 minutes to...
Going back to whatever his name was, the McDonald one. Yes, he could rent a prospector if he's got a friend with his own prospector. So he can help him break rocks.
Yeah.
So
he's still got those charge things as well now,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, you can use the charges with a rented prospector. I keep forgetting about those because I've only tried it once and they're okay, but 2 prospectors down on Olivia will break anything with lancets on, and you don't even need any add-ons or anything.
All right, so while John's getting his hurricane out, this is the Scorpius we are giving away. So I'll just show it one more time because we looked at it earlier. Hey, there's an Avenger over there coming in.
And while you're doing that, I'll ask the next question.
Yeah,
this is from Coach 2288. He says, "How much price increase do we think that the BMM will be?" I think I've gone the highest price, and I said I think it's going to be around $890. The $890 jumps price.
I think at least $100 on release, but we'll see. I just find it really funny how they kind of currently price the functionality of the Banner Man lower than the $890. But I think if you actually play it through in your head, they're basically...
They're on par.
Like, they're on par at the moment. But then when you add the merchant stuff, that's where the Banner Man takes over for me.
Shadow Girl, yes, with a rock, we broke a 7,000 mass rock with gadgets.
So, moving on, Chris Andrews has a question. Would you rather CIG spend the following year on making new ships or bringing old ones up to gold standard?
Old ones.
Including some interior remodels. I'd probably prefer the old ones. Because I've got lots of old ones, and that means I don't have to spend more money. Yeah. So, yeah, 100% old ones. And I was hearing you say the same, X.
Yep.
What about you, John?
I'm sorry,
or repairing or fixing up old ships?
But I think repairing old ships.
There you go. 100% of us agree. Right, moving on. Joe Endel has a question. Do you think CIG will create a heavily armoured gunned trade ship to go to Pyro like galleons
of
the old
days?
Isn't that
the Raelian?
Well, isn't that the...
well, the Banner Merchantman, that was originally the Merchant Cleaver ship, but then because it grew such an increase in size, it's now been replaced by the Raelian. The Raelian is that blockade runner.
The Raelian is a blockade runner, but I would say, based on the question, in terms of like galleons, the BMM is still the galleon.
Oh,
it's heavily armoured, heavily armoured, it's heavily weaponized, it's got massive cargo.
Did he mention smuggling?
No, he just said create heavily armoured gun trade ship to go to Pyro, like galleons of the old days.
Yeah, so
your
put
Scorpius is being admired in game, mate.
Yeah, that's fine. So it's it's either the Raelian or the Merchantman. Long story short.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Question.
I'm waiting for you, John. I'm over at this asteroid.
I'm just running to the ship now, mate. I'm sorry, but you know, at my age, I have to take my time.
Yep. And Benjim, it is a great. That scorpion skin is sweet as. Hasman has a question. It's
not always the case, though, is it? Though, Algared, though the concierge ones can be a bit swing and miss, but this
some
one
of them are pretty sick and horrid. Sick as in horrid and horrible, as opposed to the way it's sometimes used. But yeah. But that skin is sweet. Tasman has a question. Outside of Avenger Titan, what would you say is the best starter pack? I think we talked about that at the beginning.
For me, it just kind of go like it's always those kind of ships that kind of do everything, and so the next one really above that, you get to a Cuddy, and then you go from a Cuddy, and I think what was the next one after the Cuddy? They basically jump and jump and jump, and basically you're kind of going up in size classes, and there's always like a versatility element about them, where they tend to do all of everything, but they're a bit of jack of all trades, and all the ships around them are a bit more niche. So probably the most easy one to understand is something like the Caterpillar. You got a Caterpillar, and it's really modular, and it does lots of different things. But then you can say, look at something like the MSR, where it goes more into data running and more into the cargo, but it loses that modularity. But then also it's faster, it's a bit smaller. Again, it's more niche. So on paper, that might look more appealing to you because that speaks to you.
Mm.
So when you're giving generalized advice, we have to look at all the things, right? So and that's why it's generalized in a nutshell. But if you're really into that one thing, Algared, obviously it speaks to that particular person more, yeah?
Yeah. So generally we'd go for those starter packs, we'd go the generalized best value, the one that gives you the ability to do the most stuff. Titan.
Right, I'm next. Stop rubbing me.
Yeah, I've gone right up to your nose, John. If you look on my screen, So definitely, it's definitely bigger, I would say.
Definitely bigger. Although if you put it in the landing mode, it's probably as wide.
Yeah, it's probably about
longer.
So,
is it Alt K to put it into to fold your wings?
I believe is it Alt K? Is it okay? Because it was just K a week ago, but is it left Alt K or
no?
Nope.
Neither just put into the flight mode and not landing mode, I think.
Oh wait, it just did something. I think there's a bit of desync. Yeah, it's left Alt K. Left Alt K will fold the wings.
And the actual body of it looks about the same size as the Hurricanes as well. So
yeah, like if you were to chop the wings off, I'd say they're roughly similar. They are similar in size, but
except for the pointy bits at the front make the body longer, don't they?
Yeah. So like if you do that, it kind of you chop the wings off. They're kind of similar, but
well, if you go down and go underneath me,
right,
and then do the top down view.
It's all down to you.
Yep.
We blow up, you get the crime stat.
Right. I see how it is.
Nice to know you're loved, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like that, isn't it?
So yeah, so with those packs, you look at the packs, and in the very base level, the $45, $49, right? The ships, the three ships that really fit into that category are the Aurora MR, the Mustang Alpha, the C8X, and the C8X is even slightly more expensive than that, and that's the better ship of the three of them. But once you start getting up to that level, or you say, oh, what about the 100i? The 100i is a great ship, but the Avenger leaves it for dead, and it's what, $5, $10 cheaper. When you start looking at the other models, and it just doesn't gel across. And so when people say, what's the best bang for buck? We'll say the Titan every day of the week. If you want to spend, people say, oh, what about the Nomad? Well, for $10-20 more in terms of ship value, you can get a Cuddy Black, and for grass again, best bang for buck. It leaves it for dead. It's not saying those ships necessarily
slightly long.
Yeah, sorry, we got to talk about this, Algared, while we get on the screen. Yeah, I can't not get behind the Hurricane, having seen this, because it's just such a smaller cross section. Yes, technically you do get more firepower out of this thing. But it's like I said, when you fly the Scorpius, you feel like you actually are a turret gunner. When you fly the Hurricane, it feels so much more like teamwork. Because the pilot is trying to put you on target. Where when I fly the Scorpius, when I've been in the turret or whether I've been piloting, when I'm in the front seat, because I know I've got the exact same guns as the turret, the pilot, I just don't give a fuck about the turret gunner. You know, and when I'm in the Hurricane, I'm doing everything I can to keep that guy on point.
Yeah. He's got more, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So the Hurricane lets the turret gunner basically just decide where the combat's going. Well,
yeah.
This is what I want. This is what I want. Whereas the Scorpius is totally different gameplay. And if you lose your wings on your Scorpius, you're always losing your weapons. Whereas the pilot's guns on the Hurricane are on his nose, and so they may not be as chunky, but you've still that firepower is all still condensed into a narrow cone as opposed to the widespread that you've got for the Scorpius and that.
Let me know in chat too, guys. Like it's $45 price difference. Can you justify that $45? Because all you're really getting, like if we break it down on paper, is you go from 2 size 3s to 4 size 4s for $45. You're also gaining a much bigger cross section. Also, it's apparently less armored when the armor comes out in game. The Hurricane's going to have more armor, and we were always sold the Hurricane was a glass cannon, but this new one's the glass cannon. Or is it a crystal cannon? You know, so no, not really. So someone just said, isn't the Scorpius more maneuverable? And I think it turns up and down better, but not side to side as well.
Yep.
So,
apparently, people are telling me that the Hurricane is better. So
yeah, and everything I was who was I talking to? One of the PvP content creators, and they were saying, from the tests, Hurricane is better. So this rule of cool or this X-wing tax is what you're paying here.
And
I think somebody in game earlier said Avenger 1 reckons the Scorpius was better. I think that's what he said in the chat.
I think at the end of the day, this is the thing that all three of us will be able to agree on here. In less than 6 months' time, you'll be able to buy this in game.
Yep.
Buy it in game, because again, this falls under the fighter thing. It's not good value, and when you look at a Scorpius like this and realize it's $240, and realistically, that may up costing more than a Corsair, and for $20 more than it is right now, you can get a Mercury Star-Runner. I think all of us will agree on that, yeah? That there's just better value out there for the dollar amount.
Well, as I'm a miner and a trader, I would never buy a fighter for real money.
But you can, well, it's different strokes for different folks, obviously, because I always get these combat people that come and go, but you pay more for
mining ship for real money.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, but you pay more money for a combat ship, and that's just how it is at the moment. But when it goes in game, they drastically skew differently. So and you can, so in 6 months' time when this comes out, or even you can even do it now with something like the Hurricane. Go look at the price of the Hurricane out of game, and the price of, say, something like the Mercury Star-Runner out of game, and then go look at the prices of them in game, and you can clearly see there's a difference between what the marketing people think they're worth and what the designers think they're worth. And what we've always been trying to encourage you guys to look at is what the designers are saying.
Yep. And one thing I'm not sure has been worked out by the guys who are doing those comparisons at the moment, because I haven't heard how they fly in Atmo, but I have. But what I haven't heard details of, great details of what they're like in Atmo, but I have heard that Atmo's not really working that well with the Scorpius, which is the ship I'd expected to
work better with. Yeah. You would assume with the 4 wings it would fly better than, well, does it really even have wings? Like stub nose? Like, yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah.
And this is a new, you're the lore guy out of us three here. Isn't the Scorpius like really new and the Hurricane's like an old thing? Because it was it was before Anvil. It actually came from the manufacturer that Anvil brought.
I understood that part of the story of the Hurricane is that it was not the Hurricane, but the Scorpius was part of a design that went forward, but it was too costly. So I think it comes from the story of the Black Widow. which was just a costly, super heavy F8 type comparison fighter, and it just was too costly.
That's a Sandgroper said Hurricane is all wing, but when he said that, I actually started to think of something else. It's the A wing. So if this is the X wing, then the Hurricane's the A wing.
It's the A wing. Yeah,
I didn't even think of that until he said that. It's true. It technically would pull off an A wing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we've got a B wing somewhere else. So yeah.
Reliant. Yeah. Reliant. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, John.
Aurorus Indomitus has a question. He says, would we buy a Starfarer with real money or in-game with UEC?
I brought mine with real money, but I got mine for $175, so...
Yeah, well, mine with real money as well. So
brought it back in the original concept. So, yeah.
So we bought ours with real money back in the day, but...
I think at the end of the day, like, do you want a refueler or a gas miner or, you know... that's a tough question, because you've got to really want whatever that ship is offering. You have to really want it.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's if you want the ship or you like the ship, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, what we say.
What we say.
We're not going to change your mind.
You know, go for it. But as we always say, we always are trying to look for and work out what is the best value in terms of what, you know, if you say, oh look, I've got a limited budget and I want to do mining, what's the best way to go, then, you know, we try to look at all the avenues of the things and give as much, and then add in as much gameplay while giving you that. But for someone like me, like, you know, when we did the fix my fleet, for me, it was in a sense it was a waste of time, because I'm a collector. I just want everything. You know, so for me it didn't really matter, and part of it was supporting the game.
We have to do those fix my fleets too, Algared.
Yep.
The ones that we couldn't do because you were not well.
Yep.
We did want to get a couple out, but we just, yeah, you know, he wasn't the best.
Well, my voice is still, as you can tell. I don't know if we can. It feels really bad.
Swallowed a frog.
Yeah, I followed a frog. My frog Buffy's got a bad sore throat.
My cat's hair has got in my eye.
So, the slate says, what are your favourite ships and why? I think we answered that more or less earlier. I don't really have a favourite ship. But ships I do like the Connie because it was my first ship. I like the A90 jump because it's...
Jeez Louise.
There's something about it that I like. I can't really put my finger on it. It kind of ticks a lot of boxes. It does waste space, which is a pain in the butt as well. But yeah, I like the Caterpillar because it's modularity. I like the Javelin because of modularity.
Mine's the Reclaimer. So yeah.
Yep. Executes has always been the Reclaimer, and that's one I like, is it's got that Aliens feel, and they really tried to get that feel in the ship.
Alright, John, we're gonna have to be quick, so you get out your Connie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get out
the mate.
Yep, cool.
Rashuj has a question. When do you think the 600 rework will happen? When it happens. For ships, I imagine it's not a priority because the ship is in game and it works.
Yeah.
Right, so they're not going to rush that.
No.
They know that they need to fix it, so they will. They know that they want to have the exploration version of the med bay and other bits, so they will. How awesome that ship will be once it's done, it will certainly be significantly better than it is now. Will it be as good as an 890 jump? Maybe, because it's an explorer. Or will it be better than an 890 jump as an explorer? Probably.
So, Algared, we've got about 15 minutes left, so you want to rapid fire some of these questions?
So, does the Defender attach to the BMM?
Yeah, it lands in the hangar.
The Defender lands in the hangar. Simon Wolf, with the upcoming illegal deliveries missions, if you have an MSR with the hidden storage, will the cops know you have illicit cargo?
Ooh, yeah, technically the scanning system's not fully developed yet, so I assume, yeah, they'd be able to see it.
So
I thought it was supposed to be line to stop them scanning in there.
Yeah, but that's not working at the moment. We'll have to, it's all basics at the moment.
Unfortunately, Hasman, we can't skip your question because it goes into the chat, and your skip my question turned up as one of our questions. So, Cascadian says, "Do you think we'll see the new art for the Starliner this June?" I asked because
hope so.
It's soon to be done on the progress tracker. Furthermore, is the Starliner worth it?
You gotta like that transporting stuff. Again, it's that niche. Is that your niche? If it's not your niche, then you'll hate it. You know?
In terms of the price of a Starfarer, it was sold at $400.
Yeah.
Which was expensive, and the reason it was given for that price tag was because it was the only ship straight off the bat where you could make money, because you were just transporting people, you weren't mining or cargo and stuff.
Yeah.
So straight off the bat, you could make money with a Starliner, and that's why it was given such a high price.
It'll be a fairly common ship in the game too, because every domestic flight is going to be that, you know.
Yep. Don't buy. Let's see. I've missed a question. Sangro.
John, don't move. John, don't move. John, stop. Stop. Stop.
I'm sorry. I was just turning around to look, see where you were. Sorry.
Right underneath you, John. Until you turned around.
I'm staying stationary now. I'm going into F4.
Jesus.
Okay, so
man, the Connie is tiny. Holy shit.
Yeah, I told you it's tiny.
Wow. I thought this was the other way around.
No.
Holy shit. Wow. Now I see them up against each other like that. Holy shit. Yeah.
The Connie is narrower. When we put it above, the Connie was hidden below. You know, when we had them lined up.
John, hold Shift X, please. You're drifting.
And the height was very similar. It was it was stagnant at the time. Sangropa, was the mule neutered on release? Well, if it's a mule, it's neutered anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's hard to neuter something that doesn't have guns.
No, it's a utility vehicle.
It's a utility vehicle.
No, it wasn't meant to. No, not at all. Not from my perspective. This is what it was meant to do. I think if it was neutered in any way, it would have been the price.
Yeah, and the price was the price neutered it because it was jacked up.
Yeah. $5 more and you're in an Aurora, and no vehicle is better than a ship. You know.
Juki Sea Captain says, "How often do you say don't buy fighters? What is the smallest combat ship you recommend, if any?"
Ooh, okay.
We generally say don't buy anything under $250 when we're looking at, or $200, $250. So
what's? I wouldn't recommend the Vanguard. It'd have to be the Redeemer. Is it? Is that?
No, probably.
Am I right
one
there?
you'd always recommend, yeah.
But what? No, but like, is there another one under that? Because I wouldn't recommend Eclipse.
You wouldn't recommend Eclipse because that's just torpedo bait. You wouldn't recommend.
Oh, I know. No, I know. Retaliator base. Done. $150.
Was it the Gladius?
Nope. Retaliator base. Best value. $150. It's you can buy the modules in game. You can use it as a combat ship from the get go. You can then upgrade it with Retaliator bombs and all that. Yeah, it's a Retaliator base, hands down. Algared would be the lowest combat ship you and I recommend. Yeah. Yeah.
But normally we say don't sell your fighters or don't buy fighters.
That one breaks that, doesn't it?
We started to break that and say, look, it's really a $200, $250 price mark because.
And that one, Retaliator base breaks that completely because it's $150. So there are always exceptions. It's just really hard to kind of give you guys a one-sentence rule, so we have to be a bit vague.
Yep. But the whole purpose of it is not because we say fighters suck or fighters are bad or fighters don't work.
It's bad
because
value.
We're saying they're not value for money. And whenever we say that, you've got to take into that view of value for money. What ships are Razalinto says, what ships or ground vehicles might best support a Vulture salvage operation?
Ooh. You got the blast charges on the Vulture. Something with cargo because you're also obviously going to have the cargo. So the Mule would work. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I got to show you something on the Vulture too. I think I found where the blast charges come out.
And I think I could see also the a ship like the a vehicle like the Mule or the to be used as a support vehicle for that as well, because you can use it to transport.
All right.
I think the two ships we're looking at now, the Andromeda is the better one.
You reckon?
It's not the best looking one out of the two, but I think it's the more versatile and better ship all round.
Okay.
I reckon you're high, but that's fine.
I do like the Andromeda over the MSR, because the MSR is just the
I guess
multiple
I'm...
tunnels.
It's one way in, one way out.
I guess I'm in the minority then. That's fine.
It's only got 20 SCU more than the Andromeda.
It does have really good quantum.
Missiles.
Sorry, John, I cut you off.
What I'm saying is the Andromeda's got 52 missiles. That's a hell of a payload, no matter what you're flying.
All right.
Yeah, but there's size 2s and size 1s.
All right, while you guys were talking, I just drew the person for the Scorpius, and their name starts with D. As long as, like, again, the reason I'm doing it this way is because we have to check. I'm not going to announce someone and then, go, no, sorry, that person won because they cheated. Or whatever else. Like, again,
they weren't a subscriber.
Yeah, or something like that. So, and we'll go through and do it in the background. So, hindsight, I probably should have drawn all these beforehand. Again, not having done a lot of giveaways, we're learning on the fly here. So next time we'll draw them beforehand and then just announce them as we do that. So yeah.
Yeah.
I can let you down, Dracodon, and tell you it's not you.
Robo Guy, what do you think is the best bang for buck ship above the Cutlass Black?
Again, as we just said, Retaliated Base. You kind of can't go past that ship at $150. It's kind of ludicrous how much you get.
And then there are other ships beyond that. There's the Crucible, the Endeavour, because they're still at their original starting price, and they're going to grow and balloon in price.
Yeah. So, but even then, right? Like they're doing it kind of out of game. The Retaliator, you kind of come in and you got things you can buy in game that make it better. Any of those ships with modules, right? And so the Endeavour is probably the pinnacle of that, though. Yeah. You'll notice a lot of the ships that we keep recommending have modules because they've just got expandability. Caterpillar, Redeemer, Retaliator, Endeavour, like they all have modules. So anything that's got modules, you just got more versatility straight off the bat.
Yep.
All right. Next question, John. We've got 5 minutes left.
Whoa, no! Planetary nav tech will allow space whales and boreal stalkers to get added to the game.
Well, I don't think you technically need the nav mesh tech for the whales because they're just flying in gas. Wouldn't that just be like ship pathing tech?
I think for the whale they need the ship pathing because they
true.
The ship pathing, so that like AI ships. The nav tech for the boreal stalkers, yep.
Yes.
I think that's definitely needed for those and any other animals. Sheepy has a question. Do you feel that... Oh, same question. Hazman says, what do you think on the new idea on surface beacons having 10 levels of difficulty? Fine.
I think we said at the time when we were watching IRC, it was basically just an upgraded version of the Matrix missions. Isn't that what? I remember I said something to that effect.
That was for the illegal missions. This is for the beacon missions being changed over 10 levels, so going up. I just think it's more incremental.
It's more incremental and more versatility. It's just, is it really going to change what you're doing in the game right now? Nope. Will it down the future? Yep.
It'll might make the grind slower to get to those rep levels. But it'll certainly make it easier for people starting off, and I think that was the key takeaway. Not that they're trying to change it.
Another link in the chain is what I'm trying to say.
They're not trying to change it to I think it works. They're just trying to hone it so it's actually more user friendly for new people coming in. And I imagine when they've done free flies, they've seen people come in the game and do the missions and then go, oh crap, why did I just get blown up when I just took this mission? My nephew was the same. He came in, he took every single mission that was available to him, and then had no idea where to go or how to do it because he had blips everywhere. So yeah, it just happens. Okay, Dracodan. Why are you guys re-rolling, changing the Scorpius giveaway? I heard something about it vaguely, and I'm curious.
So as I said earlier in the stream, there were people that were botting really, really hard and trying to basically cheat and get their own comments upvoted heaps. And so because of that, I just changed it from the most upvoted comment to a random comment. It's fairer that way. That way, no arguments, no did that guy person cheat or whatever. So that's why we did that. We also did say during the video that we had veto power. So we've just vetoed how it was done.
We've just vetoed anyone who had bots.
I literally within about 2 hours of the contest going up had 4 people message me going, these people are botting. Yep. And I was just like, no, fine, we'll just change it.
Yep.
So yeah, it's been done to keep it fair for all you guys, okay? So that's what it's been done for.
And we're not re-rolling. We'll only re-roll if the people who drawn are not who put in. Are
that
not
guy's getting banned right now. Hang on, I'm just gonna ban someone. Hold on.
Yep, I can see that.
Hide user on the channel. There you go. Bang. I can see what you say. See you later, advertiser. Trying to advertise.
So while we go on, let's see, we had Hazman, Dracodan, GM links, linked, DR Sync, will be able to use the MSR for hidden or contraband boxes from scanners of those in the new missions. Eventually, yes. Off the cuff, probably not.
No. Not now, but later, yes.
What time's your dentist?
We're gonna have to go. I got 1 minute.
So
I got a bus. One more question. I got a bus in like 4 minutes, so I really got to go.
Yep. Cinemax Gamer, what manufacturer would you plug the internal cargo gap between the C2 and BMM to be around 1,000, 1,200 SC mark? Have no idea, haven't thought about it.
All right.
Wait, so there you go.
Why isn't that storing? There's some really bad desync on this server, John.
Yes.
It's shocking.
We nearly blew up that little rock we were mining earlier.
Yeah, it won't. Look at this. D6 Central.
So that's the end of our questions for today. We will endeavour to deal with any of those questions we didn't deal with, which was a crap ton.
Way more than usual.
And just if somebody's watching this who wins, congratulations to all the winners. Well done.
Yeah, John's just saying that because he wants to win. Yeah.
No, I didn't do any comments on them because I didn't think it was fair. And if I'd won anything, I'm sure somebody would have said it was a fix.
Yeah, true. That's true. I get you. Let's go back to the screen.
On that note, don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that bell, leave a comment, be respectful. If you're not respectful, we will get rid of it.
And thanks for all the questions, comments, super chats, memberships, all that stuff as well.
The cash pay, thank you stuff, it really does blow us away when you guys do that. Thank you for joining, for the people who joined. If you want to go the extra yard, there is also Patreon. It does actually help us with equipment and stuff, and hopefully one day we'll be able to fix Execute's freezing screen situation as well.
Yeah, I've been through so many damn fixes from this thing. If I'd probably just got a new camera from the start, that probably would have paid for half of what I tried to fix, but yeah. All right, well, we've just lost Algared from camera, so that sounds like it's a good time to head off.
So,
he's back?
Yeah, probably would have.
So
oh,
we'll
back.
see you guys next week. We will be doing. I don't know if we'll do both this weekend, but we're going to do the mule and the buyer's guide with the ones we got for the giveaway, and then we're going to give them to people this weekend, and then we'll probably, I don't know, maybe we'll do the mule on like the Scorpius on Sunday or Monday, and then midweek
we'll do them on one of the days anyway.
Midweek we'll do the mule.
Yep. So
yeah. All right then.
We'll have them out. We'll do that. So take care. Be well.
Say goodbye, John.
Goodbye, John.